gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode, another fantastic addition to the True Earth debates. That's right. Today we are going to be diving back on in to the True Earth trenches over on TikTok, and that is, of course, indicated by our little extra mic here. So,
Most people have.
didn't know if it was going to play or not. Oh well, nipped it in the bud. Let's go ahead and get to it. So, we are going to have a fantastic discussion. Hopefully, gonna have the Globers come in, keep it. I think I'm gonna have Caleb in. We'll see 2v2s at the most. So get in line. Whoever's trying to do that, do know that you do need at least 1,000 followers to go live on TikTok. So if you are in the chat, hoping to join everybody in the discussion, then know that that is a requirement. So before we get started, let's go ahead and do some shout outs. I appreciate you guys all being here. First off, Ryan Paravecchio, huge, generous donation. We appreciate it. Before the show even begun, much love, my friend. Keep it up. Your wit and compassion and humor are making an important impact. Kind words. We definitely appreciate that. And I'm glad to see that my work out here is doing some good. So we also have Robotic Double. Appreciate you as well. And the 6 other silent legends supporting over on Rockfin. One of the best ways to support truther content, not only myself, but we also have lots of other content creators such as Jaronism, Karen B, Mellow Dome, Mark Sargent. The list goes on and on and on. You guys are probably familiar with a lot of those people. So if you're not already over there, then go and check it out. And let's go ahead and shout out the legends over on YouTube as well. We have Jeremy Bird. What is up, my friend? Admiral Dickie Bird, James Ostrom, Mark Gregory, Big Pine. What is up? Flat Earth Head. What is up? We just had a great conversation over on Iron Realm Media. You guys should go and check that out. We got Anson Howard, legendary, Nuba, Brenda, MrTribune, much love, MrTribune, keeping things going on the back end, helping things be nice and smooth as usual. Warning, Skydome. Of course, we also have Guillermo Valdez. I'm so sorry that I can't pronounce that well. That is one of my many flaws as a person. Oh well. We also have Unindoctrinated, Nominal, Lord Racer, The Emperor, Nemo. Oh, let's see here. Make sure we're not repeating KC Industry in the house. What is up? Creature, Eric Gaynor, Wes FE. Man, I'll be doing this all night. Ethereal Creations, Ace, Adam. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but we can't get everybody all the time. But hey, if you are here, go ahead and smash that like button. We do appreciate that. It helps the algorithms, helps this show maybe make even more of an impact. We do appreciate it. So the way that this one goes is pretty simple. We do a TikTok free for all. Well, free for all meaning me and maybe one other flat earther, true earther, and another set, or maybe they can disagree. That's all right too. We take people of the globe earth persuasion, of the concave earth variety, and we also have the hollow earthers as well. And I really don't see why the hollow earthers and the flat earthers can't get along, right? Can't it be a cavernous flat earth? That's what makes the most sense to me. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this rocking and a rolling. You guys are going to get just a smidge, hopefully not too much, of this first TikTok that comes up. No, I muted the sound already. Legend. Professional. Getting better every single day. Thanks to you guys with your support and believing in me. We will continue to make this show fantastic. Which, by the way, speaking of fantastic, got some fantastic merch over on the store. Some designs that just dropped. You can get some mugs. You can get a nice Flat Life shirt. Really great. And that also helps support while making a fashion statement. So you can let all your friends know that you are a true earther. Awesome. All right. So looks like we're all good to go here, folks. This is just going to take me one moment to get this live underway. Let me make sure that it does. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to unplug that for just a moment. All right, folks. Again, this takes me just one whole second. I wonder how many times I can say that before the new people catch on. All right. We're going to go ahead and go live, folks. I will see you on the other side. Let's go ahead and fade in. You're going to get a nice short look at my back end for just a moment while we go ahead and get this live going. Let's go ahead and get it. When we have it, we'll go ahead and mute this mic and let this get things going here. All right. So obviously not these. Let's refresh. What is up, folks, on the TikTok? We're going to get things rocking and rolling for you here in just a second. Here we are. Refresh. What is up, folks, on the TikTok? We're going to get things rocking and rolling for you here in just a second. Here we are. Nice. All right. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get on in with it. Welcome to the True Earth Debates. We appreciate you joining us. Get the show spread. Like the screen. Go ahead and smash it. Now that Caleb's in here, we should get these numbers up, no problem. Nice and quick like. All right.
Up, bro.
Awesome. What is up, my friend? Welcome to the True Earth Debates. Excited to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. It's always a pleasure destroying the heliosexuals on your platform.
Absolutely. The heliocentrists have really done a number on physics. It's been pretty crazy.
Did you get those lectures that I sent you? No, please don't bring to Brenda. I can't talk to Brenda, bro.
I do not think that they have the ability to join, actually.
Oh, really? I like how you say, yeah, she doesn't. Or he.
So they don't have the ability to. You do need 1,000 followers in order to join the live. So that's not my rules, actually. That's just how TikTok works. And I actually would change it if I could, because I know there's a lot of people out there with a voice to be heard. And I feel like with the right platform, we can cycle through them efficiently. But that's beside the point. Anyway, fear has nothing to do with it, but it's funny to think that you would think that.
Yeah, it's funny. We'll debate physicists, but Brenda thinks we're scared of him.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
In any case.
Kind of weird.
In any case, I did get those lectures. I haven't gotten the chance to dig through them in depth, but I do think they're pretty interesting.
Did you, so the lectures that I sent you? Is that what you're talking about?
What's that?
Did you get the lectures that I sent you?
Yes.
You've
sent me a couple.
Yeah, you need those. The Richard Feynman lectures, bro, you need those.
Yeah, those are the ones where they're talking about how all the local effects are explained with electrostatics instead of gravity.
Well, it doesn't directly say that, but it gives you all the evidence of that. Like it's 3 different volumes. So the first volume goes over like heat distribution, mechanics, relativity, and the second volume goes over electromagnetism, and the third volume is like all about their fake atomism model. So it's like 3 lectures for like everything, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely be digging through that. And also, just for those, just to be fair, Brenda was tolerable, as one of my viewers put it in the comments. Have to agree. So, did manage to keep it pretty cordial, although I always like less interrupting if possible. So, atoms are fake, LOL. That's funny. Yeah, the atom is a conception, right? So, and I think it's funny that you guys bounce the very thing that you claim to be trying to see to view the thing that you're trying to see. So you're bouncing electrons to see electrons and atoms and all that other stuff. How the hell does that work?
The atom is 99% no mass. Massless.
It's just
So dumb,
better
bro.
to say that it's a field, right? That it's got a field around a point of inertia.
I can't remember what principle it is. If it's the improbability principle, it's something like that. But it's a principle where they say that they can't locate it. If you locate its speed more accurately, you won't be able to locate the particle in its shape more accurately. you'll be able to locate it less accurately, essentially. So yeah. So if you locate its position, you can't locate its speed, and vice versa. It's really weird. Obviously fake.
Obviously, obviously fake. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. Is like I really don't need to ask why moderator Caleb blocked F Caleb FE.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Probably not gonna say anything good.
Just
Yeah, the zealots. There's only a few of the zealots.
Brenda, just so you're aware, it has nothing to do with fear, right? You just don't have the followers. So get some followers, and then maybe you can jump in the box. But it is first come, first serve. So, folks, if you do believe in the heliocentric model, or any model besides the stationary flat topographical plane model, then feel free to jump on in the box. Let's have the conversation. We do have the True Earth debate rules, of course. The no interrupting, no being an arse, no beating a dead horse, and of course, my show, my rules, right? So it's dynamic, might have to change depending on the situation. But hey, all to make sure that we're having a great conversation that everybody can enjoy, not just, of course, me and Caleb, but the audience as well. So let's go ahead and do a quick poll. I'm going to do a crying face if you are just believing the mainstream spoon-fed model, or a smiling face if you're actually questioning things and trying to do some of your own thinking.
Yo, I need at least 30 people in here to start spamming the like button right now so that we can pop up on a Heliosexuals page and they can come in here and we can have a funny talk and you guys can enjoy it and be entertained. So everybody needs to start liking right now. Start clicking the like button. More likes equals more viewers equals more potential debate. So, come on.
Yes. Thank you for the shout out there, Caleb. Yep. Don't feel bad
Well,
about
it's just
breaking
gonna
your
be
screens or fingers.
it's just gonna be me and you talking if they don't start sending likes.
That's true. Mr. Globes a lot. That's probably a Glober.
That guy probably doesn't know much.
He probably doesn't have enough followers, but we'll
No,
see.
he's got 600. I checked. I was gonna tell him to join, but unfortunately, not enough people like him.
That's unfortunate. Well, I hope I
Keep
didn't
sending the
waste.
likes, people. That's going crazy right now. You're good. You're doing good. Keep sending the likes.
Absolutely.
Somebody
Let's get
jump in the
triggered.
box. If you guys think it's so obvious the Earth's a ball, jump in the box, please. Come on.
The Rogan's up. That's right. By the way, let's get triggered. The family is doing very well. Thanks for asking. And the cat, to keep everybody updated on that situation, is also doing very well. Has finished the medication, is on a special diet, and is now actually doing really well. So we switched up the litter box so that we could keep an eye, or using the pretty litter so that we can make sure nothing else goes wrong. So yeah, we're taking the steps, and it's all thanks to the community and their help. So thank you guys for your support in that. But yeah, let's
Dude,
go
that's
ahead.
awesome that that turned out well, man. I'm glad
It,
that that turned out good. That's
it
horrible when you have problems with pets, bro. It's the worst.
it's just one of the things though that makes you more aware of the extra steps that need to be taken. And it's like, we're not the only ones under attack with all the poisons and the food and water in the forms of metals and preservatives. So when food, these things can really be bad news, right? So come to find out, my problem specifically was because of the dry food, supposedly. So Aryan Bright Flame, win for Healthy Cat, but L for Flat Earth. We haven't even gotten into the debate yet. That's so funny. Alrighty, we are getting there. We are getting there, guys. I know that there's some Globers in the chat right now. Feel free to jump on in the box. We're not that intimidating, right? After all, we're holding a false model, supposedly. Should be pretty easy to demonstrate. All right, let's go ahead and help myself as well to make sure that things are going. You're not the least bit intimidating. That's right. That's right. So go ahead and jump on in if possible. Wait, isn't this a Globe Live? You said True Earth debate. Josie, you're so cheeky. Go ahead and hop on in the box if you got some strong opinions. That's what we want to hear right now. How come the sun doesn't shrink when it goes past the horizon?
Give me
Great
1 second,
question.
brother.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, that's actually a great question. The reason why that happens is because we see basically in a sphere around us, which is demonstrably true regardless of what model you're living on. And that means that when the sun is going overhead, it's actually at the same distance as it is at the beginning of the horizon, as it is at the end, as it is directly overhead. So you really wouldn't expect to see it change size, would you? Maybe a little bit, but nothing like what you're talking about with the what the heliocentric model is trying to purport that it would have to go to like a little dot before it vanished. Not necessarily. There's all kinds of atmospheric effects that can happen with that, as well as again just the fact that we're seeing in this limited sphere of vision, whatever you want to call it, right? Personal atmospheric dome, personal hemisphere, um, the azimuthal grid of vision. It doesn't really matter to me. Hurricanes rotate the way that they do, possibly because of Mach's principle, right? It's actually not verified that it's because of Earth's rotation.
Very true. Listen to this. I was reading the lectures that I sent you today, the Feynman in chapter 16 on relativistic energy and momentum. This is the first this is the first paragraph. In this chapter, we shall continue to discuss the principle of relativity of Einstein and Poincaré. How do you say that? Poincaré? Carré?
You're asking the wrong person, dude. I'm terrible with names.
Poincaré, something like that. Poincaré, as it affects our ideas of physics and other branches of human thought. Poincaré made the following statement of the principle of relativity. According to the principle of relativity, the laws of physical phenomena must be the same for a fixed observer as for an observer who has a uniform motion of translation relative to him, so that we have not, nor can we possibly have, any means of discerning whether or not we are carried along in such a motion.
Oh, so either reference frame is valid.
Yeah.
Imagine that. For
That's
those of you,
beautiful. That's something we really need to harp on with the Globers when you say, hey, do you believe in relativity? That's why it's super annoying that Ruhif completely ignores that or like says that he doesn't believe in relativity fully or whatever he does to try to not talk about the topic, because relativity in and of itself just destroys their model. It basically claims straight up that kinematically and all relativistically everything would work the exact same if the earth were a plane and the sky was moving around us and we see Euclidean geometry through hyperbolic space.
that's true. I haven't spoken with Ruhif enough personally, but from the conversations that I have had, um, and especially the ones that because we do talk in private as well, he does seem like he's very genuine. So I feel like, there is a belief that comes with it, and he is going based on the fact that the mathematics work, and therefore it is. I mean, it's basically a reification fallacy, but it's one that, you're cool with. But we're just wanting the empirical cause and effect relationship demonstrated via the scientific method before something is hailed to be a scientific proof and then forced down all the kids' throats in school.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's exactly what they do with like when we deny atomism. They'll be like, "Oh, your phone works off atomism. It works off the idea of electrons and these different things." So they went and they took phenomena. They took the amount of electricity that's transferred from point to point, and they baked in assumptions. They made up a model around that, right? Around the phenomena of the observation. So of course it works great. So the quantification of atomism is fine, but the explanation of what is happening is dog shiz and it's a fairy tale. You know?
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. I was seeing if there's anybody that I can invite real quick.
Nobody wants to hop up. This is weird.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably because you're in here. They're shaking. They're shooketh. What can you do?
Brenda, you spelled reification wrong.
It's unfortunate
Yeah,
when
that's
trying to make a point about intellectual
when
superiority.
trying to make a point about somebody not knowing something about the exact term and then not knowing how to spell it. That's a little awkward.
First, never prove anything. Just try to disprove and say nuh-uh or no way. Well, Josie Wales, just so that you're aware, we just brought up an example of how geocentric versus heliocentric is completely interchangeable as far as frames of reference, but that probably went over your head. Some positive proofs to the actual flat claim would be radio wave propagation over 10,000 miles, microwave propagation over 250 miles. We have line of sight photography over supposedly, I think the record is the best one I'm going to say is the new one from Israel to Crete, 600 miles, 133 feet observer height. And no, they're not clouds. That's ridiculous.
Dude, it was a time lapse over like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it didn't move at all. So for somebody to say that it's clouds, that has to be just straight up disingenuous.
It's straight up disingenuous. Your better bet would be to say that it's a different landmass somehow, or that they faked it. So fire away, right? But basically, that's your example of, or our example of you nut-ing, right? And I think that's pretty appropriate, considering that's what we were just accused of doing.
Yeah, it's funny. It's always opposite. That's what I was saying to Austin on the stream last night. We need to make up a heliosexual law, like 5 laws that they always do.
Refraction, gravity,
Yeah, that'd definitely be one of them.
credentials.
One of my rules definitely would be that they every night that they go to sleep, their mind erases. Like they forget everything that you explained to them, so you have to re-explain it every time that you talk to them again. They act like they've never heard it before. So it's like MIBs coming through and like mind flashing them, and just erasing their brain every single night. I guarantee that's got to be happening with these people.
This Dewey's Dream brings up a point. Einstein deliberately left out second class of facts, quote, ether, just so he could invent relativity. That is, I do believe, true. And I think the reason why they did that is because when you have the stationary ether, it debunks the Earth moving through space. Go figure.
What the heck? Whose name is Dare? What the freak? This guy's name is Dare IK. Let's chat. Bro, are you okay?
You guys got some fans, some copycats.
Oh, dude, you would not even have any clue. Dude, people are crazy.
Mickelson Morley. Aether was falsified by Mickelson Morley. What an astounding example of reification fallacy.
What a weird sequence of letters put together to create a sentence.
It's like you didn't read the notes.
Yeah.
You remember, there's usually a difference and an obvious difference that intellectuals and academics would recognize between what media says about a paper and what a paper actually says, actually. And so, yeah, just go and read the notes.
Is there nobody in the box?
There's literally nobody in the box.
Should I leave and come back in when somebody joins? Maybe they're too scared. We'll
They
just
might be.
blindside them and then I'll join back in.
They might be, dude. They might be. If you want to try that, yeah, go ahead. They might be avoiding this like the plague because of your presence, right? What can we do?
Mickelson Morley. Okay, but let me say this one thing, and then I'll hop out and just watch for a second, and I'll just join back in if you say. But Mickelson Morley, they falsified the model claimed of the current model of ether, a stationary ether. So if there's a dynamically moving, it's in motion, the ether, in a vortex-like motion from the translation of motion of the firmament rotating around us, then that could explain the fringe shift that we see in Michelson-Gale-Pearson, as well as the Sagnac effect, as well as the Michelson-Morley experiment, because we're not moving.
You know what's hilarious, Caleb, is that they'll claim that the Michelson-Morley falsified the ether by not showing the fringe shift, but then we'll turn around and invoke the Sagnac effect to to explain the sky moving.
You know what you need to watch? You need to watch McToon react to mine and Derek's presentation, bro. It's actually hilarious, bro. Because you go through that. We go over the Sagnac effect, Airy's failure, as well as the Michelson-Morley experiment in extreme depth for an hour, and he reacted to it, and he literally had nothing. He literally just lied. When you actually try to back the claims that he made with the current paradigm, it does not align. He was straight up lying about all of his explanations to try and reverse engineer an explanation for why these things happen.
Josie Wales, how incoherent can you be? The Earth spins at a whopping 0.000676 RPMs, blistering speed. My guy, don't you know that a rotation per minute isn't an actual measurement of speed? Speed, you actually have to calculate for the distance covered in an amount of time, right? So simply claiming that the 1,040 miles per hour spin or velocity of spin is nothing more than 0.000673 RPMs because the Earth is so big and therefore it's not a problem is absolutely ridiculous. And it flies in the face of what we know about moving big objects, right? They have momentum.
Main points I'm going to bring up with these people now is the time zones. The time zones is a straight up killer. Like it not having an even 12 time zones because the spherical the actual physical terra firma wouldn't be able to be seen, so the time zones would be evenly split. There'd be 24 time zones on both sides of the hemispheres if the Earth were a ball and the sun was working in the way that they say. So that one is crazy to me. I didn't even know that before Witt's presentation, where he said that they have 19 in the north and 32 in the south. Bro, that's it. What else do we really need? Time zones are not time zones are political to make the Earth's time zones perfectly work on a ball and make the northern hemisphere bigger and the southern hemisphere smaller. Yeah, sure.
It's just a coincidence, man, that there's 39 in the southern hemisphere and 19 in the in the northern hemisphere, right? It's pure coincidence. And the other hilarious thing about that was when we first got into this debate, like 2014, 2015, wasn't the claim that time zones only work on the globe? That's and now we're finding out they're arbitrary. So congratulations on doubling back and announcing your failure.
It literally doesn't even make sense. Of course, the sun's time zone doesn't split off. Like, it'll change based on state lines in the United States.
I can't imagine being so intellectually inept that I would think that someone using a common phrase so that people would know what I'm talking about would mean that I'm obviously invoking all of the assumptions that go with that word. Hemisphere, just so you know what I'm talking about. Do I really need to say hemisplane or just hemis, just for you to not shit yourself laughing?
I'm about try to get a Glober in here, and then I'll be right in the box.
Sayonara. Appreciate you coming in. All right, there you have it. Now it can just be a 1v1. Unless you guys can get some help or something, then maybe we'll bring Caleb back in. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and have the conversation, right? We don't have, obviously, all night to do this. Unless, of course, you think it's already settled and the Earth obviously is flat, stationary. Not in the vacuum void of space. This is actually a record for cowardice for the globe. Never had 30 minutes go by without somebody wanting to jump in the box and actually try to show something, try to demonstrate something, right? So far, I mean, it's demonstrable that there is radar propagation over 10,000 miles. You guys have to invoke that it has to bounce off something, which would be reifying and begging the question, right? So, and there's tons of anomalies with the ball anyway. So we've already covered time zones. What about magnetic declination, which was literally measured just by the compasses being wrong in the south, them not being where they expect to be based on the globe model? Again, you can continue to keep the ball and then say that the magnetic field is not symmetrical and bending all kinds of weird ways to save your model. Or you could just have a symmetrical northern point at the the northern hemiplane, and you can have all the compasses point there and keep it flat. Right. This is actually exactly why we have the AE map, this style of map, because according to the patent, this represented more of the true positioning of the continents. So anyway, take that for what you will. Not saying that it's 100% accurate, but I sure think it's a hell of a lot more accurate than the globe. And not everybody all at once, right? Think of a snow globe. I mean, essentially, we could have a barrier. I think that there is some evidence for that. I'm starting to look into the documents of the Army verifying a firmament. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we shall see. I'm going to reserve judgment on that until I've done the research, because that's what someone intellectually honest would do, right? They'd also be open to changing their mind. So as I am, right, which is why we have this conversation, we have this platform. So if you do believe in the globe Earth model, then hit that guest box, quit yanking our chain, keyboard warring it out. It's not very becoming. My goodness. We could switch it to open panel. Maybe I give you guys like 5 more minutes and then I can go jump over. We can all hang out over on the YouTube and Rockfin and open the floor up to those in the chat, right? Because there are definitely people who will have the conversation. Yeah, it had to be it actually says a projection from, it's actually a place when you look at the original things. The projection of a globe is something new. Um, Oh, wait, on the patent? Yeah, in the patent it says a projection of a globe because that's what you have to do to patent it, right? You had to patent it based on the longitudinal and latitude system that was based off of the globe. So that was the only way that they were allowing a patent. What are you going to do? That's another good point from Eric's Indel. If the Earth was moving around the sun in 6 months, the Earth, it would be midnight in the morning, right? We would have a flip, but we don't see that. Instead, you can set a timer for 24 hours, and in 24 hours, the sun is going to come back to relatively the same-ish time, right? Regardless, or taking into account the moving for the seasons. You assume we can see forever. Absolutely. That's super funny. Yeah, to assume that light doesn't attenuate at all, and that it just continues to travel through millions and millions, billions of miles through the endless vacuum of space, would be ridiculous. Waterworld, what is up? Welcome. Oh, apparently it is a thing. Sidereal rotation. I'll take a look at it. If that is a thing, I'd say that it's because of the sun's position in any case, right? How do we narrow that down to being exclusive evidence, empirical, scientific of the heliocentric model? Rivers are undebatable. Yeah, they're flat, unless they're running down a mountain. All right, let's go ahead and smash out the like some more. What are you going to do, right? We got to keep this thing going. We're at 7,000, right? So we're no shortage of that. You guys have been crushing it, but let's go ahead and get some opposition in. Go ahead and let Geocentric in for just a moment. Maybe somebody will want to come in and try to smack you around. Who knows?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, what's going on? The Globers are shooketh. They won't come in my live anymore. I don't know what happened.
Oh no, there's like I think the whole department that NASA is sending on TikTok, I think they're in vacation or they are suspended because it's not working out, right?
Maybe they all needed to convene to make to like talk about the Crete observation since they knew the clouds is not going to work.
Hey, tell you straight up, man. You know where these Goobers are hanging on to? They're hanging on the sunset, and that's it. Because the whole perspective thing um, breaks out everything. The sun's position falling to the horizon is how do you say it? Oh my God, I'm losing words. It's an optical illusion. It's not reality. So every single calculations that all the scientists have done in history before are based on a false calculation, because the sun is not really like dropping down to a couple of degrees. There's no angles. It's just optical illusion. It's not really there. It's at one position, and it's not falling to the horizon. And you know how the globies, all they say is that, when before the sun sets, the sun doesn't shrink, it grows in size. And then you show them the sun being refracted, and then they're like, whatever, right? That's all they can hang on to right now. I guess there's this they're in this debacle right now that they can't get out.
Right, and it's kind of a tough position too because you make this claim that the horizon is the leading sphere edge, of a ball, and then you then have to claim that well that's actually a shifting position that is actually optical and it changes due to refraction. So it's like, man, you don't have the solid evidence of the of the non-shifting part of the horizon, right? Because if it's always shifting, then how do you know where the part of it that's actually a edge, right? The actual part blocking things. And they'll simply say that, oh, because the bottoms of things are missing sometimes in some select observations, that in itself means that we're living on a ball. I had people actually using the Lake Pontchartrain, for example, which is hilarious because it's literally, I have a picture of it where it's just going out straight, right? And then tends to like mirage off. So, you know, what are you
Yeah,
going to do with that kind of cog dissonance?
yeah. The whole mirage. I don't know if you've ever seen a good like maybe a P900 or a P1000 zoom in of the sun, or anything like when you see the ship like a little bit half sunken into the behind the horizon, quote unquote, right? If you see like at the little little above the horizon, just tiny bit above the horizon, you will see that there's this thing that I call, like, I've never seen any scientist talk about this before. There is this line called the what I call is the line of image compression. I don't know if you've seen that.
I
It's like a
have. It's been a little bit, but I have seen that.
right. So how much of an image compression is in that line? You cannot tell. You cannot tell. Like, nobody can say there's like 10% of image compression there, there's 20% of image compression there. So it's just like right above the horizon. If you have like a camera like a Nikon P900 or a P1000, I have a P900 and I can zoom in on a ship that appears that is kind of like over the horizon. But when you see right on top of the horizon, you'll see that if the ship has a mast, and if there's a, let's say it was a shipping container, you have that big area right there where the captains sit, and when you zoom in, you'll see like the ship kind of a little bit over the horizon supposedly, but you'll see that the ship is like cut in half, and you'll see the top of the ship being right side up, and like right at that image line of compression or that refraction line, whatever you want to call it, it's upside down, it's flipped upside down, and it's right above the horizon, right? And I don't see nobody discussing this, right? I don't see no globies bringing this forward and actually questioning this, because that questions the whole of their integrity. So yeah, that's
Man, nobody wants to come in here and set this guy straight. You're just gonna let him rattle off like that, talking shite? Just kidding, guys. This is like a new low for y'all. Here we go. We have the dude. Welcome to the show. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Give me about 10 minutes. I'll be right back on. I'm with my nieces right now.
No worries.
We're cooking dinner, barbecuing. Say hi, guys. Say hi.
How's it going?
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's a guy. Kids.
That's awesome.
So what
I'll
do
be
you think,
back.
bro?
I'll jump into like 10
All
minutes.
right, sounds good. We'll see you then.
All right, bye. What? Look, this.
Let me mute you up here. Alrighty.
Hey, so Tribune, you know who Andre is?
Andre, who?
Andre, his actual username is Deep Dive 26 or 25. I think it's 26.
I think so.
Right? He's Hindu. He's Indian. Okay. So he's just to fill you in. It's been I think a week and a half already that we're actually trying to make a flight over the South Pole.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, an actual flight. And he's doing a really good job at emailing all the commercial airliners to actually conduct business, right? Um, if the Earth was a ball, that flight from Ushuaia to Perth is 5,500 nautical miles. Okay? If the Earth was flat, and I'm getting my calculation based off of Terry Eicher, I don't know if you know him on Facebook, Terry Eicher, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-mm.
He's a very good like flat earther, man. You should see him. He does a lot of video content and really good. He has estimated the size of the Antarctic ice wall to be about 47,000 miles, based on the size of the equator, and then with the Gleason's map, mapping it out and actually calculating it. So yeah, plus and minus here and there, it's just an estimate. We don't know for sure, but the main point about this whole flight is that if it's flat, it's 20,000 miles across Ushuaia to Perth, Australia. Okay? We're trying to get an Airbus A380, which is about 750 people, and we're trying to encourage Globies and Flat Earthers to go on this flight, together with an NDA contract that has to be signed with this company to be heading the direct heading, leaving Perth, leaving Ushuaia, going directly south over the tip of the South Pole, and then reaching Perth. So
Interesting.
yeah, he's doing a really good job at it. He has about like 50 people already. It's a long process, but the main point of this whole thing is that I'm for sure believe that they're gonna deny every single commercial airline is gonna deny us. And when they do that, he's gonna make a really good video and produce a summary of all the commercial airliners denying everybody over the South Pole, because they make it seem like it's something easily done, and it's been done already. It has
Right.
not been done already. It hasn't, and we're trying to do that. And if it don't, like if it doesn't happen, you cannot say anymore that I'm gonna purchase a ticket for a flat earther to go to the edge of the earth. I'm tired of hearing that shit, bro. For about like 5 years already, man. I'm tired of hearing this shit. So
Shut it down.
yeah, man, shut it down, bro.
That's super funny.
No.
Still some very opinionated people. We'll do another poll here, quick poll. Crying face if you are just accepting the mainstream spoon-fed model, and smiley face if you are questioning the mainstream model, right? We want to have the conversation. We want to get some opposing opinion in the box, right? That's what it's all about. So if you guys disagree with me, then feel free to tell me why.
Right. Oh, just some extra information. The Airbus A380 maximum distance is 7,800 nautical miles, or 6,800 nautical miles. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one, but it's one of the two. The main point is that if it's a ball, the airplane doesn't have to refuel. If it's flat, it has to refuel 3 times. So I know that this is not gonna be done. Andre knows that also, and we're trying to pull that experiment out and accomplish it. Yeah, I guess, bro. I guess it's flat, man. Nobody wants to even debate
It's
anymore,
it's
man.
obviously that's demonstrable, right? And with the we do have what's his name? I already forgot what his name was. Who's supposed to be coming back here soon? But yeah, man. I mean, it's a Friday night. Don't get me wrong. People, I'm sure, are doing like fun things, like hanging out at the bar, cheering on their favorite sports game. Doing something mind-numbing, I'm sure. But we will be over here having the conversation, True Earth debating, sailing away. Jim, welcome to the show. Much love, my friend. Let's go ahead and take another look here and see if we got somebody else who'd want to come in who does not think like we do, who thinks that the consensus is the truth, the end all be all. Right? Nothing to look into, nothing to see here. Absolutely. Gotta love a good family barbecue, right? So not gonna hold the dude accountable on that. He can do his thing. But guys, what I'm gonna need for you to do is share this show out, right? Liking was great, but we do need you to actually share it. That way we can get some globies in here. Oh, looks like we actually have one now. Welcome, Joseph, to the show.
Hey, bud.
Yes, sir, Joseph. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, I was just passing by, man. What is this debate about the Earth? Just wanna, what's it about?
Debate, debating shape and place in the cosmos, possible motion, the nature of the universe itself. Welcome to the True Earth debate.
Well, you know that we're all created by the Earth, right? We all we all came from the Earth. There's no other place we came from but the Earth. So every living creature, everything that's living is from the Earth. So the Earth is round, that's for sure.
That's for sure. What
Yeah,
makes you so
Wow.
sure?
it is round. Come on,
Hey,
all
bro,
the all the
it's
planets.
2023, man. It's flat.
If you go look at all the planets, man, they're all round. Not all of them, but some of them. But the Earth is round, pretty much. What are
All
you
right.
gonna tell me it's flat? You're gonna tell me it's flat?
Before we continue, Geocentric, I do appreciate you coming on. Caleb actually did have first dibs, so I'm going to go ahead and let him jump on in. But feel free to
All
stick
right, bro.
around in the audience. And did
Yeah.
you have anything you want to say before I let you go?
No, no,
No,
bro.
no,
That's
man. I just wanted to see what was it all about, man.
No, I'm not talking to you, Joseph. You're fine. You stay right where you are. I was talking to Geocentric there.
yeah. I just wanted to say, man. I just wanted to fill you in on the flight, bro, and that's the most important, man. But keep up the good work, my friend. Keep up doing what you're doing, bro. It's we're getting there, my friend. Have a good night, all right?
You as well, man. I appreciate you coming on, and thanks for filling me in on that flight. That'd be something definitely to be looking at. So we appreciate you. Let's go ahead and invite Mr. Caleb back on in. And Joseph, all right, so let's just go ahead and start from the first steps, right? So we're born into this world, right? I kind of agree with you on the term of like, who cares where we're from, but we're probably from the earth. But with that being said, you look up, you see things around. What makes you think that just because the lights in the sky you see are round, that you are actually living on a light in the sky?
Living a light in the sky.
Right.
That I don't understand that what you're telling me on there. I mean, we live in this earth, and basically, there may be another Earth somewhere in the galaxies that we'll never find that because it's probably who knows how far. But everything that is living and existing now, man, it's created by the Earth. There. I don't believe that we were brought here by God or by a spaceship or any crap like that. Everything that's living in this planet is created by the Earth, and the sun is what gives us light, gives us
Evolution.
energy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, evolution, yeah,
So
yeah. I mean,
so
we're,
just before we go off on a bunch of tangents and stuff, because I do have a pretty limited time and I want to respect the time of my audience as well.
sure, sure.
Our topics are going to be limited to talking about the shape and nature of the Earth itself, and what scientific proof we can bring to, or what good evidence we can bring to verify our claims, right? So I'll go ahead and take the first burden, right? I'm claiming that the Earth is flat and that there's no curvature. That can be
Really?
verified. That
Oh
can be
man.
verified by. Hold on, let me finish, and
Yeah.
then I'll let you go. That can be verified by electromagnetic wave propagation, radar propagation 10,000 miles, microwave propagation 250 miles. We have line of sight light propagation 616 miles from an observer height of only 130 feet. That is 39 miles of missing curvature in the observation. That's Israel to Crete. Anybody can go look it up on Taboo Conspiracy. No, it's not clouds that not moving during a whole 30-minute time lapse. So that would just be intellectually inept to suggest that. So that would be positive evidence that the Earth is flat, that we're using all these things line of sight, treating the Earth as if it was flat. What evidence would you have that we're on a spinning, flying space pear?
Uh, well, I'll tell you, buddy. By looking at all the planets, looking at, I mean, what you see is what's true. I mean, you see it. It looks like a ball. If you look at a basketball, it's round, and if you spin it, it rotates, right? So that's exactly what the Earth is doing. It's rotating. It's round, just like the moon, other planets out there. You know what I'm saying? But flat. When you're saying flat, that's kind of weird, man. That's just doesn't make any sense that a Earth can be flat.
Well,
That's in,
your arguments from incredulity. You're basically saying I don't understand how it could work on a flat Earth, therefore it couldn't
no,
possibly be
that's
true.
impossible. That's impossible.
How is it
They can't
impossible?
because the Earth is spinning in circle.
You're just re
Okay.
so, but you can't just reify, right? Like you can't just say, well, it is what it is because it is, right? That's not very
No,
telling. It doesn't
it's like
tell
a
us anything.
basketball.
No,
Like it's like a basketball. It's round
what evidence
and
do you
it
have of
spins.
that?
Dude, it's round. It's just, we everything that most of the stuff that we create, you have like things that we play with, like the baseball, the bowling ball.
Wow.
It's round. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's where we
It's
get
pretty.
this from. The Earth, yeah, the Earth is round. It
I know I
spins.
said I wanted a Glober, but I wanted at least one that was at least a little bit intellectual.
So you think the
Well,
Earth is round because humans
it
make
is round.
baseballs and basketballs round?
Y- Well, that's what it does, man. That's what it is. It's round.
That's a
If
reification
you don't believe that
fallacy.
it's a sphere, if you don't believe it's a sphere, then there's something wrong because that doesn't make any sense.
No, the
Being
whole thing
flat.
is what's funny about you saying that is Tribune just gave you like 3 proofs to prove that the Earth is level and the radius of the Earth can be falsified, and then you have nothing, and then you say
No,
we are
no,
crazy.
no.
So what is your
Tele,
best evidence? Hold on.
get a
Other than
telescope
look,
and look at the
yeah, I
get a
have.
telescope and
That's the thing.
look at the moon, look at the other planets. They rotate. They're round. Saturn, all the planets are round.
Cool your
And they
jets,
spin.
Joseph. Let at least let him respond, right?
Yeah, well, you go ahead, buddy.
What's this look like?
I don't know. I can't see. I can't see
Hold on,
that.
let me make you bigger.
Yeah, what's that look like?
That's your telescope.
It's an $800 Dobsonian telescope.
Doesn't matter how much it is, man. I've been to the planetarium. That telescope is a lot bigger than that.
Okay, well, either way, it's an 8-inch, so it's a pretty decent telescope. You can see the orbs in the sky. So saying there's orbs in the sky, so that necessitates that we're on a ball, is completely fallacious. It's like saying that the shape of your light bulb has any relevance to the shape of your floor in your room. They're different. They're made different. They were created separately.
What if I?
Don't you think if you will look at something flat, you won't be able to see it in different angles?
What?
So
Yeah.
that's a red herring. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Joseph, what you're suggesting is that the Earth has to be flat because balls are in fact
No,
round. And the fact
no.
is that
The
how
Earth
can
is
the
not flat.
hold
I
on,
didn't
bro?
say
Don't
the
cut.
fleur.
Hey,
I
don't
didn't
cut me
say the
off.
Earth is
Don't cut
flat.
me off, please.
I didn't say the Earth
I'm
was
not
flat.
saying I didn't say you did. Hold on.
Okay, so then don't say
Hey,
You're
that.
saying
hop in the box.
you're yeah, for real. You're saying that the Earth can't be flat because
It's
balls are
not.
round, right? And I'm going to tell you that the Earth cannot possibly be round because the universe in your model is two-dimensional, is flat. So
What?
how can the Earth be round if the universe is flat?
What?
That's that's how intellectually inept you just sounded.
No, man.
Try to
The
follow along.
universe is no, dude. That doesn't make any
Okay, what's your
sense.
next best proof the Earth's a ball? Next proof, other than looking at the sky, which is fallacious. Do you have any other evidence that the Earth's a ball spinning or anything?
Dude, it's been documented. You can see it through, I
How?
mean, it spins, it rotates, are you
How?
serious?
How?
So you're telling me that the sun is flat too?
How? How was
Come
it
on,
verified that the
man.
Earth is round and spins?
Oh man, come on. You're kidding me?
How do
You
we
guys got
verify your story,
It
Joseph?
sounds like you don't
you
know.
don't look at you can get your telescope and look at it. It spins. The earth
You can
the
look at
earth
the Earth with a
rotates.
telescope
The
and
earth
see it spinning.
rotates. Huh?
You can look at the Earth with your telescope and see it rotating and that it's round.
No, if you're no, buddy. If you other if you're other well, they filmed it before. You can see it on the films how it rotates.
So
Just
if I
like
get you, so if I send out, so if you think that that's real and that couldn't be editing, which they admit that it's literally
no, that's not
CGI.
editing. So you're telling me they're editing all the planets like Jupiter or
No,
Saturn? They
dude.
spin.
I'm agreeing that they look like there's orbs in the sky. Yes, I look at them, bro. I've seen Jupiter, I've seen Saturn and its rings. They're not faking them. They are
The
luminaries.
is
They
the
are
is the
wandering
ring okay? The
stars.
rings okay. The rings on Saturn are they flat or are they not?
Globers, just so you know, there's nobody in the box right now. If you want to go ahead and give your side a fighting chance, now would be a great time to help your boy out.
Yeah, please.
Dude, the Earth is round, dude. That I mean, like most planets, you know.
There's no such thing as planets, bro. No such
What do
thing.
you mean a planet? We are in a planet. The Earth is a
No.
planet.
What's your best proof that the Earth has physical curvature at the surface?
Oh my God, dude, are you kidding
Best
me?
proof, bro. Come on. You
Are
kidding
you
me,
serious? So
bro?
you're telling me the
Are
sun
you
is
being
also flat?
serious?
All the planets are flat? Is that what you're saying?
What's your name? Is your name Jose?
Come on, dude.
What's your name? Joseph?
It's Joseph. Yeah.
Oh, somebody said Jose. I don't know why they said that.
No, no, man. You
It's
got
in the
no.
chat. Yo, Joseph,
You
bro.
guys
You
smoking
know what
weed,
I've learned
bro.
from you? I've learned absolutely nothing about the shape of the Earth so far.
I've learned
So
nothing.
let's
Bro,
try to
it's
progress.
round, man. It is round.
I know, but you're just saying that. You're just begging the question that it's round because somebody told you. Why do you believe it's round? For what reason? If I walk outside, if I were to walk out my front door in a rainstorm right now because it's raining, where could I look to tell that the earth is round and spinning? What would I do?
Yeah, I kicked that guy because he wasn't listening, kept interrupting, and
Yeah,
just kept reifying everything that he was talking about.
yeah, that was
I know
going
that
nowhere.
people who've been in this debate obviously know the answer to this question from both sides already, so it seems really redundant. But just for
You know
those who may
what?
be joining, the planets and the things in the sky being round do not directly mean that we are round, right? That is a logical fallacy. That is like again saying that we are a light in the sky. That's why I worded it the way I did earlier, right? So you think because there's lights in the sky that we must be a light in the sky too? Like, come on. So it just doesn't make any sense.
You know what? I think we make a 3-point test for every Glober that joins, and we should ask them, like, who was the author of the theory of special relativity? And just simple things like that. If they can't answer it, you're kicked. It's some basic Glober stuff. Like, we have to be able to get, because we're at the point where it's like really not entertaining to have somebody just say the Earth's a ball. Like, it's more
Yeah,
entertaining to talk to somebody about the principles that back this idea. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Absolutely. We definitely don't want somebody just parroting dumb stuff. We got better things to do.
Like, we'll ask them simple stuff like, who wrote the general and special theory of relativity? And then also, does the Earth move or does the Sun move? And then if they can't answer, it's kind of a trick question, but in their model, they'd
In
have to say
reference to
both. Right?
what?
Yeah, true. Outside the solar system, looking at the solar system.
So I learned. So one of the things that I thought was interesting coming into this truth, right, is that the globe has a positive claim of substantiating when it comes to just the movement claim. Not only is it 1,040 miles per hour at the equator, spinning around, revolving, but it's also going to be moving like some 4,000. Sorry, I had to pull it up in my notes, which I can't because I'm screen sharing. But it's like some 4 million miles per hour going around the solar system, or sorry, not the solar system, the galaxy.
1.2 million, right?
For the galaxy or for the solar system?
Pretty sure we go around the I'm pretty sure the solar system goes around the galaxy at 1.2 million miles.
I thought it was 4 million something, but in any case, the biggest number is even when we're going around the Great Attractor, which is like over 100 million miles per hour. It's absolutely incredible. But it's a bunch of breakneck speeds going different vectors, and we feel none of it because of special relativity. It's equally valid to say that all of that craziness is happening, or that the universe is simply moving around the Earth.
And all we see is one motion in the stars.
Except for the planets, which are not stars.
Exactly. Okay, Globers, I know there's at least 3 of you in here. We're just going to be chill. We're going to talk about the shape of the Earth. It's going to be fun. Just hop in the box. We'll have a chat. You say your proofs of the Earth's a ball. We'll say our proofs that the Earth is a level topographical plane. It'll be a good time. Start sending likes, everybody. We need to get to 20K likes within the next 10. We'll have 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 20K likes. We'll have a Glober in here and we'll have an entertaining conversation.
It's not our rules, it's just the way that TikTok works, but we appreciate you playing. So smash it out. Let's go ahead and keep this thing going. You guys have no model. Did you not see the picture behind me? God, so disingenuous, right?
No one model for any type of explanation of the Earth. You have a geodynamo model, you have a tidal model, you have all sorts of different models to explain the shape and the phenomena that happens around the Earth. So just saying, oh, where's your model is completely disingenuous. You should be asking for multiple models. You should be asking for the magnetic model. You should be asking for the tidal model with the nodes integrated. And we have all that information. You just won't go look for it.
It's true. And I love how people are always disingenuously asking for us to explain our model. You only want us to explain the model so that you can strawman little points of it that you think mean something, when in fact is that we just don't have all the answers to everything, right? And nobody does, not even your guys' model. In fact, your guys' model has a whole host of problems, which leads to its falsification, which we are pointing out in this live.
Close to 20K likes, guys. Keep going. Keep it going.
Much love, guys. You guys are the real ones. Let's go ahead and take a quick moment to see if anything good's going down in chat here. You are crazy. It's round basketballs, bowling balls, Big Pine, hilarious. Ever wonder
Bro,
why all the
literally what he said. That's literally what he said. We create basketballs round, so the earth must be round. Like, bro, there's no
dude,
way.
dude, bagels are donut shaped. Maybe we're a pineapple. Big Pine, dude. Basically, basically what he's saying. I do feel especially sorry for these globies. That is right, slave slayer. It's finally happened. You know, you warned me it would happen one day. That
Yeah, I told you, bro. I told you at one point these people are not going to come around because you're too good and you will make them answer too many questions that are, contradictory to what they believe. So somebody that can do that, they're not going to want to come hang out with you very often, bro. They want to hang out, yeah, with the people that are easily triggered, people like that. So
I mean, I believe in Pizza Planet. Come on, guys. You haven't seen Toy Story? That's our model, right? Come attack that. That's probably not. I'm seeing a couple comments in the chat that maybe people are just trying to make a point, but I think that that's just being lame and showing cowardice. So, and what I would do at the point when we have a whole bunch of verifiable evidence that the Earth is in fact not curving away at a radius of 3,959 or 900, you know what I mean? When we falsify that, when we call out all the reifications, when we show that there's actually a dynamic and kinematic equivalent to the heliocentric model, it's just game over. What do you do? Talk about plane routes?
I love talking about plane routes. I love showing global. Dude, lately, my girl, she likes to watch me talk to people on Omegle about flat Earth. So I'll just get random people and just start getting to like the deepest conversation with this random person on the internet. And I'll show them that stuff all the time, bro. The flight paths are too money, bro.
Professor Dave on YouTube to address this comment. If you didn't know, he actually got put in a debate analysis channel, and they actually rated him, called him out of having some of them like over 1,000, crazy amount of logical fallacies. So I really wouldn't look to someone like that for good advice on like what's going on in reality, especially since he doesn't even write his own stuff. Like it's admitted that he just has people write scripts for him, and then he just goes and reads them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. If you want to hear him say that and all that, you can go to my link tree and go to my YouTube, or just click the YouTube button in my bio. And me and Derek did a full video on Professor Dave explaining all his mishaps and stuff like that. So if you want an in-depth look at Professor Dave, check out my YouTube.
somebody wants us to explain our model. The best to our ability, it would be that it is a flat plane, not moving through the universe, at the center of the universe. There you have it. We just had someone in the guest box. Where'd you go?
Oh, get back in the guest box, buddy. Come on. It's time to chat. It's time to talk. Thanks for the gifts, Jay.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all showing the love as we struggle to get some intelligence in here from the other side. I might just start inviting people that I think might be Globers.
What have you been studying lately?
So I was actually just doing a little refresher, just a general refresher on the journey so far, covering, actually, it was going over Witzit's last live, the most recent. So I've been really liking the looking into the difference in the wave propagations between the radio waves and the microwaves. And funny thing is that they actually are like this. It's basically the same thing. We're just talking about different intensities. So to me, it makes sense that the higher the intensity, the further we would be able to shoot that wave and get a return.
Give me one sec, bro.
No worries. All right, got somebody in the box. We got Bach. Welcome to the show.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, my friend? Are you a globe Earth proponent or something else?
Definitely Globe Earth.
Oh, awesome, man. You're in the right place. Welcome to the show. How long have you been watching the live?
I just got on.
Okay, cool. So you haven't really heard anything of our points. Which would you like to do? Do you want us to go first, or do you want to kick things off?
Sure, you can go first.
Okay. I mean, Earth's a flat, stationary topographical plane. We have long distance radio propagation, microwave propagation, and photography, as well as the AE map patent being claimed to be representing a more true position of the continents between, quote, the poles. Just to make sure I'm not leaving anything out and you guys don't, excuse me, accuse me of cherry picking. And not only that, but we have, I'm sorry, I think that that's the best, strongest points. I don't want to give you too much at one time, right? So we can start there. That's what I would consider positive claims, positive evidences that the Earth is flat. Also, we have.
What do you mean?
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
When you put quotes around poles, what do you mean?
Like the magnetic poles.
Yeah. So you think
One of them's presupposed. So.
Think there's only one pole?
Well, one of them's for sure. The other's like kind of presupposed, not really verified in my opinion. So.
Okay. So. And there's never been confirmation of a monopole.
There's never been confirmation of a monopole. I'm not claiming a monopole. I'm just claiming that there's not like a South Pole like you guys are talking. In the flat Earth model, the South Pole would actually be like the complete opposite side, the actual underneath of the flat Earth, hypothetically.
So with a magnetic toroidal field, there's a plane of inertia, or its technical word is a block domain wall, where there's a level plane through the center. So we have the magnetic perturbation coming from the center of the Earth, or the center of that picture behind Tribune, and the bottom part of the dipole is at the bottom, going to the bottom of the Earth probably. So we're on the inertial plane in the center of the magnetic perturbation, and we're experiencing the top half of the magnetic toroidal field.
So the magnetic field goes all the way out to the edge and down back under to the other.
That's why you have magnetic declination the more you go south. That's why you get less of a magnetic field, because you're getting away from the magnetic source, the epicenter.
Just to clarify, so your magnetic field goes from the North Pole all the way out to the edge of the plane and back underneath.
And it attenuates over distance.
It also goes through the Earth as well.
There's more lands beyond the ice wall?
Yeah,
possibly.
Probably.
Well, then how far are these magnetic poles going? Like this
I don't
magnetic
know.
field is going all the way out
They
there?
go to the 60th south latitude. That's the farthest we're allowed to go legally.
So you either believe that it's an infinite plane or that it stops somewhere and that we have two poles. Which one is it?
Who knows?
I think we have one pole in the observable reality that we're in right now, in the realm that we're in. And
if you're going to claim two poles, then you can't claim an infinite plane. If you're saying other poles,
what if there's more magnetic sources past the wall? Like if you go out more, it could be a mountain. They say that there's a magnetic mountain at the center causing the magnetic perturbation. What if there's more mountains past the wall?
So you don't believe in two poles?
Dude, we already explained it's a dipole. Do you know what a dipole is?
Yeah, I know what a dipole. If you're saying it's at the bottom, then the magnetic field has to stretch out.
Do you know what a block domain wall is?
Infinite plane?
Do you know what a block domain wall is?
How is your magnetic field going past the infinite?
Hold on, I can address this. Box, your fallacy is that you assume that the land has to be limited to just the magnetic field. It doesn't.
Yeah. There could be more than one source if it's infinite. There could be more sources of magnetic fields, and this one
has fields going through the land, and then there's land outside of the magnetic field. I'm just trying to get a grasp of what you're
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, we can't. That's all speculation. We can't go past the 60th south latitude, so it's useless to talk about. We can only talk about our experience, and that's all we can experience legally.
Why not?
The Antarctic
The
Treaty.
Antarctic Treaty.
The one that says military can't go past the 60th parallel.
The one that says that nobody can go there without getting the permission from their government, essentially.
It requires a permit, quite literally. It requires a permit and like 6 months notification.
Anybody can get dual citizenship and another country doesn't have that.
What do you mean anybody can get there? Do you have the funds and the resources to do that yourself?
Okay,
you're saying just you're making it sound like you can just jump on the bus and just go carry that out.
You get dual citizenship. Go to a country that didn't sign the treaty. And
you think if you're just a citizen from a random country that's not in the treaty and you try to go past the 60th south latitude, you don't think they're going to have a problem with that?
No, I don't think they will at all.
Well, that's your burden of proof, then.
I guess.
So you should do it. It'd be funny.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Even if you could, hypothetically, I mean, let's just be real. The climate is absolutely unforgiving. You'd have to have one hell of an expedition, and nobody on our side of the fence is that well funded.
Then why do you want to go to lands that are past that?
You're the one who brought up the potential of there being other lands. We said that it's no use talking about because it's speculation.
That's what they said.
A lot of people are having burden of proof. A lot of people are having burden of proof problems. So Box is making the positive claim that you can just go to a country, get citizenship, and then go past the 60th south latitude. That's a positive claim. The burden of proof is... Hold on, Box, hold on. The burden of proof always falls on the person with the positive claim. I have the negative claim that you couldn't do that.
That we can't go down there.
You made the negative claim. Can't is literally a negative claim, Box.
Can't is a negative claim, bro.
It's a positive claim still, saying that you cannot go past the 60th parallel. That is a positive claim.
Box, listen, we're not going to argue semantics. You can literally look this up. To say you can't do something, hold on, don't interrupt. If to say you can't do something, or to say you can't do something, won't do something, or that something doesn't exist, is not a positive claim. It is a negative claim. It is a I don't believe that we can do that thing, right? The positive claim would be that you can go to Antarctica freely, unencumbered, without government permission. Can you demonstrate that?
You cannot go. You can't demonstrate that you can't go there.
Can't, bro. Do you know what can't means?
Yes, but you said...
Is can't a negative term?
This is
hold on, is can't... Hold on, Box, let's not be an honest, or I'm going to block you. Let's not be an honest, or kick you, I should say.
Read what Augustus is saying in the chat.
You can kick me, I don't care, that's fine. But you're making a positive claim that you can't go past the 60th parallel.
That's not a positive claim.
That is exactly a positive claim.
It's a negative claim, bro. This is like third grade logical fallacies, dude.
I don't think you understand what positive claim is.
This is elementary level logical fallacies, bro. Like this
is not gonna obviously not gonna do that if you're just gonna be completely inept and just lie, right? Just go do a quick Google search, right? Look up if can't is a positive connotation or negative connotation, and then figure out what a negative claim versus a positive claim is, and then come back. So
y'all kicked him because he's too smart for you.
I had to actually laugh. Actually laugh at that one.
Rocket Appliance, bro. Come up, bro. Don't be scared. 18,000 followers. Come on, bro. Come have a cool chat, man. We'll be nice.
All right, Rascally.
Invite Rocket, bro, or I'm gonna mute him.
Invite who? Let's invite him.
Rocket Appliance. 18,000 followers. Invite him up.
He's not even in here anymore. Where's he at?
You're kidding.
Rocket Appliance. I'm looking.
He's got a rocket as his profile picture.
It's being slow on uploading the people. There we go. And then we also got another one too. Nice. Stefan Rocket, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Hello. Caleb, why did
All
you
right,
leave me
Gentlemen.
from chat?
Ooh.
Caleb, why did
Oh,
you move me from chat?
yeah. You know what you were saying, bro. You're
Well,
lucky you didn't get blocked for what you were saying.
well, I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying?
Okay, if you don't know what came out of your own text, that's a problem, Steven. Can you prove the Earth's a ball and it's spinning 1,000 miles per hour?
Do you believe that the moon is local?
In reference to what coordinate system?
To the flat Earth?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah,
Do
it
you
could be.
believe?
Yeah, it could
do
be
you-
outside the firmament in a different medium. I don't know. I don't really know the distance of the moon, so I couldn't really say. But it seems more local than what you claim, yes.
Do you believe that the sun is local
Steven, what are we doing
to the
right now,
flat plane?
buddy? Where's this leading, Steven?
Hey, I got a question about the sun. If
I'm
you
just
guys want to
asking.
answer it.
Am I not allowed to ask questions?
Why don't we talk about the shape of the Earth, guys, instead of the luminaries in the sky?
We started.
We are. I'm asking
Well,
you. Do you believe that the sun?
We literally started
Why
with
can't we?
positive
Why can't I ask you
claims.
questions? You're getting. Well, I got a point to this, so I'm just let me get there.
But we don't know. How
I
about
You
don't
don't
that?
have
need
a
to be
positive
scared.
claim.
Basic
So
question.
you have the positive
So
claim.
you
How do
don't
you
know?
figure the
Okay,
distance
I'm
and the
just
size of the
asking a
sun?
basic question. Do you think that the moon and sun are local? I thought that
Possibly.
was like a very fundamental thing.
Possibly.
What is the other possibility?
There's
I don't
a
know.
whole lot of other possibilities, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah. We
What
could
if
be
it's just
seeing an
different?
apparent sun.
Getting
We
further
see the
away.
We
projection.
could be seeing a projection from a second sun because a lot of people, as you know.
Yeah. So
There
Tesla's
could
taking
literally
a
be
model.
multiple suns.
Does the sun cause the shadow to does the sun light up the moon?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So
I would
so
say
you
no.
don't know if the sun is reflecting light off of the moon's surface.
I don't believe it is. No.
No, because as the moon gets closer to the sun, it goes
This is
dark on that
getting. I
side,
feel like
right?
you're kind of dragging the conversation. You know.
It's pretty simple things. I mean, we can see the
Okay,
sun, we
so
can see the moon.
This conversation goes a simple way. I don't have a positive claim of the distances,
You're
the
afraid
materials, the
you're afraid to
luminosity.
make
Hold
any
on.
claims.
Hey, I
You're
was
afraid
in
to
the
put a
middle of a
stake in the sand.
sentence, Steve. In the middle of a sentence, okay. So I don't have any positive claims. So we're gonna reroute the conversation and shift the burden of proof to you.
I know you would
because
like
you
to.
have the positive claim. So
I know
how
you
do
would like
prove
to.
the moon is 238,000 miles and the sun is on average 91
Does
to
the
93
moon
million?
light up the freaking? Does the sun light up the moon?
Bro, Tribune, check him, Tribune.
I know,
check
right?
him.
So listen,
Check him.
We're having a
Tribune.
conversation. Stop puffing your chest.
so you're
Don't
trying,
run away.
Stefan, just so
Be
you're
scared.
aware, you're trying to basically goad us into a positive claim when we've said repeatedly that we don't have one. Now you can
Listen, I
make
don't
any
care about
opinion, you can have
positive
any
claims.
opinion that you want over why we don't have a positive claim. Maybe we're scared. Maybe we just don't have enough information to make a confident positive claim on the matter. However, we do know
If
that
you're
you,
not
in
so,
fact, do have a positive claim. Do you not?
if you are not even sure what is lighting up the moon for us to see it, then how are you so sure how far away it is, or how not far away it is?
We
We
didn't
didn't say
claim.
any
That's why
positive
we don't
claims.
claim a distance.
You're
You're
not
making our point
understanding.
for us.
Okay,
I-
so it is a possibility. So we agree that it's a possibility that it's 250,000 miles
See,
away.
unlike
Sure.
you,
No.
right? We're not making
Okay.
positive claims absent any proof. You guys
Okay.
got no fucking proof. Excuse my language. You got no proof, and you're making or supporting all these positive claims.
You're avoiding fallacies in your own model by taking non-answers. You know what you're doing.
How do you prove the Earth is round, Steven? Let's go. Come on.
Hey, I got a question.
Is it about the shape of the Earth?
Yes, it's about the shape of the Earth.
Okay, then go.
Okay, assuming that the Earth is flat. Okay.
Yeah. Which is what we
And
do
I'm
with
assuming-
everything in reality.
Oh yeah, I'm going to assume
Right.
that you guys are in the northern hemisphere. All right. So, and this is kind of an experiment that I think anybody could do without a lot of math or a lot of thinking, just observation. Okay. So,
Oh, I love
So
it.
it's just
let's
is
just
it,
say,
Do it.
all right. So let's just say in the summertime, anyone can go outside, say around noon, look in the sky and observe where the sun is.
Well, today
Yeah.
the moon was in the sky all day up here. I live in the northern hemisphere up in northern Canada, and we've seen the moon here all day, and the sun was up high in the sky. Both are
Well, yeah,
plus
you can see the
moons.
sun, and you can, based on where you're standing when you observe the sun, you can relate it to.
And here's the
other.
interesting thing: barely any of the moon was lit up, and that's even when the sun was directly across from
Okay,
the
well, I'm
moon.
trying to explain something. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
24 hours later, you can see the sun in the exact same approximate spot. It's not going to be the exact same spot, maybe like a minute and a half off. And this is in the summer. That's 24 hours, okay? If you're in the northern hemisphere, that's the Tropic of Cancer, right? And that's the smaller circle on the flat Earth map. So, northern hemisphere still, you go outside in the winter, and let's just say it's approximately closer to the Tropic of Capricorn. That's the bigger circle. You do the same experiment where you go out one day, you observe the sun, you wait 24 hours, you come outside the next day, the sun is going to be in the exact approximate spot.
So you're going to go towards the speed of its revolution, that it should be faster and slower at one tropic versus the other?
Yes, how is that possible? And if somebody is in the southern hemisphere, in Australia, doing the exact same experiment.
In the summertime, we get longer daytime,
Let him
right?
finish the point before you answer, at least.
If somebody's in the southern hemisphere doing the exact same thing, they're going to get the same results. And how can that happen at the same time? How can the sun speed up is basically what I'm getting at. How can it can take 24 hours to go around the bigger circle and 24 hours to go around the smaller circle on the flat Earth model? How does that even work?
Why do we have 19 time zones in the northern hemisphere
Answer the
and
question,
33
Caleb.
time zones in the southern hemisphere?
Sounded like Rascally was going to answer that question. As well. So I'd like to hear what he has to say.
So we actually do have a difference in daytime during those seasons, right? So when the sun comes to the north, it goes higher in the sky.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with daylight. It's about the position of the sun and how long it takes to reappear in the sky in that position during that season.
It would slowly
nothing to do with
speed up
daylight.
and slow down based off Mach's principle.
Okay,
What
so
is
if that's
Mach's law?
true, then
because
if
you
it's
see the
slowly
sun
speeds
fly-
Not everybody time.
Yeah, one at a time, boys. One at a time, guys.
So
Try again.
Okay, so
So
two
for
observations
example,
in the northern hemisphere, it's 24 hours, winter versus summer. In the southern hemisphere, you do the same experiment during the same exact times, it's still 24 hours, summer and winter. How is that possible on the flat
that's
Earth
just
map?
a blatant lie, bro.
That's not a lie. That's an observation that anybody
can
can do.
24-hour sun
it's
in
not
Alaska?
the same time. The sun
Is
comes
there?
here
Hold
later
on.
in the
This is
winter
very
time.
simple. Hold on, guys. This is so simple.
And
Is
it
there
doesn't matter any time of the day.
Hold on. Rocket. Come on. Is there a 24-hour sun in the very northern parts of the realm that we're in, like Alaska?
Explain to me what you're getting at, because
No, what I'm saying is the sun doesn't set there. So it's not an equal 12-hour day and 12-hour night everywhere, only on an equinox.
Right, so it spins
An
around.
equinox is relative to location as well. You're not going to have an equinox every single place, every single latitude and longitude on the same day. So
equinox.
Explain?
Okay, you could do this any time of the year. You could do this in March. You can do it in spring and fall.
That's a red herring. It's a red herring.
No, that is not.
You didn't hear what I just
Anybody
said.
could go outside and
Listen.
observe the sun and the position of the
Rocket
sky.
appliance. Listen,
But the
on
sun's
your
not there at the
model,
same time all the
even
time,
on your
exactly.
model, there's a 24-hour sun in Alaska in the very northern parts of the plane that we're on. There's a 24-hour sun. So that
Yeah, 'cause the Earth
debunks the
tilts.
claim that you're making that it's the same everywhere in the world. When there's a 24-hour sun
No,
in
I didn't say it was
Alaska-
everywhere in the world. I said it's the same from the person that's observing the sun. That's why I said anybody could do it. I mean, except for, I guess you said Alaska.
Not the
but-
same in
Hold on.
seasons, though.
Is it not relative to your position on the Earth?
It is, and that's why I said at
Then
the
what are you
beginning, I said,
saying,
I'm
bro?
assuming you guys are in the northern hemisphere in the 48 states, right? Are you guys not in the 48?
It depends on the degree of the sun, bro. It depends on the time of the year. It changes. It literally is a cyclical thing that happens over the course of 365 days. And it repeats.
So in the summertime here, the sun's in the east at 5:30 in the morning right now, but in the wintertime, it's more around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. So there is a difference there in time. The position is still the same, though, right? But the only thing that's changed is the season. Do you understand? Because you brought up the season. I'm sure you do understand.
Okay. Do you understand that if I go outside tomorrow and observe the sun around noon in the sky, and then 24 hours later it's the same?
Yeah,
In
but
the
that's in the
winter,
same
it's going to be
season.
more to the south. And the experiment is still the same. It's still roughly 24 hours. So
Can you
how
show
does
an
the sun
analema?
speed up?
Can you show an analema?
But the sun shows they're at a different time,
Tribune?
is what I'm going to say. In
I don't have
distances.
them in Lima.
Yeah, there's different time
visually.
zones, but
I'm
it
sending you one
doesn't.
right now.
That's why I say 24 hours. It doesn't matter the time zone.
Yeah, it'll be there 24 hours the next day, yes. But if you were to compare, let's say 6 months apart,
I
it's
sent
not
one
gonna
to
be
you
the
on
same
Telegram.
time.
If you want to just save it real quick and pull it up in the background. Do you know what an analema is, Rocket Plane?
I would have to Google. I'm not at a computer.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine if you don't know. He's about to show you. We'll walk you through it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I brought up earlier. When the sun goes higher in the sky, he'll show you a picture of it.
Yeah, it oscillates elevation as well as speed slowly in a cyclical cycle.
They think it travels at the same speed all the time, but they're wrong.
And it makes this perfect 8 shape in the sky every single year for all of time.
Oh, I understand that. That's not really what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I can't get it while
I'm talking
on
about
live.
the speed at
Okay.
which on the flat Earth map.
Yeah,
on the flat Earth
that's what
map,
we're
how the
saying.
sun.
It slowly changes velocity up and down over the course of a year.
And so your claim was that Mach's principle is the impetus of that change. Is that correct?
Not it's probably more than that. The sun's probably way more complicated than just Mach's principle, but surely the vortex of the electromagnetic field that is around us is probably having an effect on it as well.
So just a conjecture on reference frames is not the entire reason why the sun accelerates.
No, it's not the only reason the sun accelerates or does what it does, in my opinion.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that up. Do you believe in gravity?
No,
Do you believe in special relativity?
absolutely not.
What? Well, I saw a video one time that you were explaining Mach's principle, and you were saying that Einstein was sent a letter to Mach. What was that?
Yep, he sent a letter to Ernst Mach in 1913 explaining that if there were a hard shell over top of us and it were rotating at 15 degrees per hour, that a pseudo force or a Coriolis force would arise within the shell, creating the precession of a pendulum.
Why did you leave out the parts about him using that as an influence towards distribution of gravity in his special relativity? Why did you leave that part out of
What page? What page?
Why did you leave that out?
That's not part.
Is it because
so
you don't
the
believe
letter?
in
Hold
those?
on. You think that the theory of special relativity is the exact same thing as a personal letter that was written in hand and mailed to
No.
Ernst Mach? You think they're the same thing, or?
Einstein expressed to Mach that Mach's conjecture about reference frames, which has nothing to do with a shell, by the way, above the Earth.
Mach's principle.
It was an
directly
influence on
had
him.
something
It was
to
an
do-
influence on him thinking about the distribution of gravity as an inertial reference frame throughout the universe, and him paving out special relativity.
Stephen,
But you left that part out.
Hold on. I got to tell you, Stephen, you're completely.
Just admitted that you left those two parts out.
Mach's, you think Mach's principle has anything to do with gravity? They have no correlation. There's no
I didn't say
correlation.
that. I did not say that.
Frame
I did not say
dragging.
that.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. What are you saying then? Repeat yourself, Stephen. It'll be hilarious.
It's not. It's hilarious on your end that you leave out things that you
No, I
try
didn't
to
leave
use.
anything out of the letter.
You
read
left
the
out
letter.
the word gravity.
What's with this sophistry?
No.
What does this have anything to
Hold
do
on.
with the actual argument that he made?
Yeah, hold on. But not even that. He doesn't even say gravity in the letter. I'm gonna pull it up and read it for you. Just
No, and pull up the actual letter, not the one that you interpreted for your little video.
No. It was a direct translation by 8 German people, bro.
Yeah, you need a good translation for one.
So Mach's principle has nothing to do with a shell over the Earth.
No one said it did.
Yes, it does, bro. In the letter from Einstein to Ernst Mach, he says that as an example of Mach's principle, quite literally.
Oh, I thought it was the movement of the electromagnetic grid. Man, I need to dig more into it. Admittedly,
Wait, in reference to what?
with Mach's principle, I didn't know it was. I didn't get to the part where it was
No, yeah,
actually
yeah.
talking about a shell.
Man, it's gonna take me a second to find this for you here, because I would do it on my phone. Like if this were my live, I could find it real quick. But
I would
even
just
in relational
just
mechanics,
make a follow-up video. Just incorporate the fact that
no, you
Einstein
can watch
used
my
as
live
influence
stream on Mach's
for him
principle.
to conjecture the distribution of gravity in establishing special relativity.
Dude,
So
did you know
just revisit that if you may, and make a follow-up video. That's all.
You'll love this. You'll love this. Relational Mechanics by Andre K.T. Assis. He writes, the flattened figure of the Earth, or Foucault's pendulum, can no longer be utilized as proof of the Earth's real rotation. Awesome, huh? Isn't that an awesome quote? What do you think of that one?
What does it have to do with what we're talking about?
You're kidding, right?
No, the truth confounds people, Caleb.
Okay, so let me just break this down for you. So that directly relates to what we're talking about, because the precession of the pendulum is supposedly caused by the spin of the Earth.
Oh, so now you want to talk about Foucault's pendulum? Is that what you're?
Which is
doing?
related to the Coriolis effect, which is related
Okay.
to the explanation of Mach's principle and reality.
Got
which
it.
would
So why
cause-
is it?
Hey,
that
hold on,
Foucault's
no, I'm not done. Which would explain the precession of the pendulum in our model. So I hope you listened. Can you run that back for me? What did I just explain to you?
Yeah, so you're jumping away from the fact that you misquoted Einstein. You're trying to get back to Foucault's pendulum at this point.
This is getting really weird. So me directly quoting the exact letter and then you saying something and saying misquoted him is really weird, dude.
That's fine. It's fine if you want to leave out parts that you don't agree with.
No, there's not parts. They do. Read the letter to me. Read it. Get the letter and read it to me. Your interpretation. Who did you have interpret your letter?
So I know interpretation is important for you. We don't want to have. It has to be from a German source. I got it.
No, the letter was written in German, bro.
I know.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't know. You didn't act like me.
So, but why would you just rely on the letters, or let's say for Einstein? There's many other authors, like for example, Rufus Blanchard, who wrote the Discovery and Conquest of the Northwest with the history of Chicago, from 1821 to 1904, that talks about the being beneath the dome of the western skies beside Lake Michigan. So there's many sources, right? You can even go to the Library of Congress and just type in simple things in there and search for flat Earth. There's many other records. You're just picking on the one reference that Caleb brought out. It's the only record.
Oh, dude, there's so many records of Mach's principle. Ernst Mach talked about it plenty of times in his books on mechanics and dynamics of the model. So, yeah, this isn't this. It's weird. The Globers don't know about this because they're not taught about it because it directly contradicts their model.
Yeah, but the problem is that you entirely misrepresent what it even is. You're claiming that it's some kind of mystical force reaching down from the dome to move things around.
And what
Correct?
are you claiming it is?
No, I mean, I want you to confirm whether that's what it is or not. Is it a magical force coming down from the dome to move the sun around?
Magic? That sounds like you strawmanned it on its face, so I'm going to say no.
Clarify, please.
What's magical force that moves around an electron and a proton inside of a cell?
You definitely used some kind of term earlier to describe
like a cell, as a molecule even. Let's go into molecule. And then picture the sun and moon as being like a proton and a neutron. Does it make sense then? When you look at the hydrogen atom, right? And
Can you make me a little bigger?
Yeah, let's do it. There you are.
Okay, here is.
Yeah, that's your interpretation that you put in your video.
Where's yours?
Why don't you just pull up a
yours?
source that we can agree upon, not your video.
No, where is you? Okay, this is dude.
I got it. You want to quote yourself? Got it. Okay, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Why don't you just pull it up then, Stefan? Why don't you show us what you're talking about?
No, I'm not in front of a computer. Just if you wanna talk about it, pull up your source, not your own video.
Okay, we're gonna move on since you don't have your source. You shouldn't be making your claims anyway. So, do you have any other proofs that the Earth is spinning or that it's a ball?
Why is it that Foucault's pendulum?
You obviously haven't. Without your source, I can't. And if you're not going to believe my explanation of Einstein, then you're not going to be able to understand our model of the precession of the pendulum. So we should probably just move on.
That's true.
Right. And so how is it that the globe model, when accounting for angular momentum and solving all the equations, perfectly explains the precession of Foucault's pendulum,
I
depending
just
on
read to
latitude?
you. I just read to you a quote from a physicist that just said that the Foucault's pendulum cannot be used as proof of the Earth's motion in axial rotation, and you're still trying to talk about it. It's
Who was that? So one source is enough to disprove.
multiple sources say that, bro, due to relativity. That's why I talk about Mach's principle in relativity.
Okay, so you're telling me that it's not some kind of centrifugal force that reaches down from the sky, from the dome, to move the sun? I just want to know if that's what it is or
You're
not.
straw manning again, bro.
That's what you said earlier.
Oh my gosh, bro! I said it could have an effect.
You said it's probably other
and I
things,
also
but-
said there could be more than one reason why the sun does its motion. It's not the sole reason, but you're acting like you didn't hear that part.
George Physics, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
George.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, had to get my stuff
I
turned
like
on.
you. George, is it George or Jorge?
Jorge. Hey, I just hopped on. I can't stay long, but
I knew it.
I
Everyone was calling you George.
This I go by. This is cool. Either way is fine. I want to talk about Mach's principle because y'all having an interesting discussion about that, and it is subtle. But yeah, there is no difference between the Earth rotating and the universe, or the universe rotating a fixed Earth with respect to some of the. But that's not really like a physical theory or anything. It's just a consequence of the way that frame dragging works in general relativity and the physics of inertial versus non-inertial reference frames.
Yeah.
But that doesn't prove that the universe is going around the Earth. It's just math.
Well, it's just showing that
right. So it just falls into the category of it being math. So there's math that creates representations, and then there's the actual math that creates predictions we can go test. And a lot of the tests. So that's I just wanted to hop on and talk about that version of Mach's principles. So importance.
It's just a kinematics thing.
Yeah.
Well, basically, what we're trying to explain is what you just said to Steven, is that they are equally valid, the reference frames. So due to relativity, it's a conclusion of relativity that they are equal reference frames. That's why they're equally looked at. So Steven doesn't think so. He's ad hocly saying that the Coriolis effect is only due to the spin of the Earth when there's other explanations.
That's not what I said. Not at all.
But I mean, there's some subtle differences between the frames associated with the kinematics of some stars far away and stuff. But in general, I mean, Mach's principle just said, I just want to just lay it out in general.
Well, have you seen the letter that Einstein sent to Ernst Mach? Have you read that?
The one you were talking about?
Yeah.
No, but after you started talking about it, I was like, well, they're just talking about frame dragging. Like a black hole that's supermassive that's rotating real fast is dragging space-time with it, which means that clocks will run at different rates if they're orbiting counterclockwise or opposite, right? I mean, so there's an asymmetry in space-time. And that's just,
I don't believe in time dilation, but that's a whole different conversation.
Well, what you're talking about doesn't work with that same without that same effect. It's the same math you're talking about. You can't just use half the math to suit your purposes. Yeah, go ahead.
And that was my point, is that you're leaving out the parts that you don't want to.
Yeah.
So basically, the reason why you would need to read the letter is because when you're saying that it's a small force that would be applied because of the distant stars, that's why he applies a shell-like structure over top of us, and the force would be much stronger, making up for the Coriolis force.
I'll definitely go read the letter.
Also, I will add in that I actually have a paper that states that, and it is I'm still going through it, but the whole purpose of the paper is to show that using Mach's principle provides not only a kinematic equivalent, but a dynamic one as well, which for those who are in the layman's, that just means that not only does it show mathematically the geometric expression, the way that things move, but it also explains the force behind the way that things are moving. So I'll be doing a video on that here pretty soon.
Yeah. So I would just go back to, this is just some math. Like the math works out that way, but the physics doesn't. Like we are the universe is not rotating around us. We are just another small moving component in a universe that's doing its own thing.
That's reification, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's exactly what we observe when we go out into reality. We see the entire sky rotating around us, so it's like pretty weird that you'd say that.
Yeah, our axial rotation extends all the way out into the deep reaches of space as far as we can perceive. So it's called the axis of evil, and this would directly refute the idea that it's us in a local area spinning versus the universe.
The axis of evil is an asymmetry in the cosmic microwave background radiation. It's that radiation is like super uniform, but there are fluctuations on the order of like 1 in 100,000. And there is some structure that points to like this weird symmetry axis. And it actually looks like frame dragging. Like there's another object outside our universe that is affecting us gravitationally. And that's what the axis of evil is. It's just an asymmetry in the cosmic microwave background radiation.
Well, you missed the part where the 23.4 degree axial tilt actually shows a homogeneous range all through. Homogeneous, yeah. I'm bad with words sometimes, but it actually shows that our tilt is not something that is just local. It is something that literally extends throughout all of space. The entire sky is tilted at 23.4 degrees, not just the Earth locally in our solar system, as would be the case if it were a result of us just spinning and the way that we were positioned magnetically in the solar system. Right, we shouldn't expect to see that to be beyond the local area.
Yeah, it seems like you're conflating two kind of disparate things, like what the asymmetry and the cosmic microwave background radiation that people call the axis of evil, and the inclination of the Earth's orbital axis. Those are completely independent, dude. Like they don't even relate in any way. Sorry, we had a party earlier. My son graduated from high school, so I had a couple of beers. So I'm probably not as friendly as I usually am.
Oh, you're fine.
So
you're being really cordial.
The observation of the pendulum, though.
So I don't know about the pendulum, but I'm just saying, like we're talking about the axis of evil. That's the furthest scale cosmologies, and it is not the rotation axis of the Earth.
I want to ask this just to do a little litmus test. So Jorge, you would say that the precession of the pendulum is not proof of the Earth's rotation, right?
It's.
If there can be other explanations, you can't say it's an ad hoc for sure the axial rotation, right? Yes or no? Due to relativity itself.
Man, I don't know. I don't know, Caleb. Like if that was the only piece of evidence, like from a mathematical, strictly point of view, maybe, but it's not an equivalent system to have, like physically, with respect to the forces and stuff, like the Earth going around, the universe going around. But yes,
you haven't
just
applied a local
try not to, Caleb. You gotta try not to interrupt, man.
But you can probably put it in a frame, create a reference frame where you could get the same kind of dynamics out of a pendulum. But that's not the only. I don't know. I'm not going to answer that right now. Maybe on another night. I will go do like the math. I'll actually do some math on it because it's been a long time, dude. I've been out of that field for a little bit of time doing the GR stuff. That stuff's crazy tough. Like, I don't think we've solved general relativity for more than one body. It is so crazy. So like everything, all the beautiful predictions we make are like these approximations to the real theory. And we take them at certain limits. You know, Newton's law is essentially the flat space approximation of GR, and you get it back. So it's a pretty nice theory, man.
For low speeds as well.
For low, yeah, that's right.
You just said that relativity is only applicable to one body, and then in the same sentence said that it's a good theory.
We're only solving.
It's a great theory. Like I think there's only it's complex, man. It's like simple. The concept is beautifully simple, but when you go to solve the math, we're not like mathematically equipped to solve that like efficiently. But we have solutions.
Yeah.
It's not nonsense. It's very nice, and it matches what nature does to a pretty good scale. I mean, until you have to get to add some dark matter at galactic scales, but the dark matter.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, we only, what is it? How much of the matter can we account with in the universe that we can see?
Okay.
It's small. It's
So,
like 10% or something.
I'll give you
right?
I'll give you just a little bit of homework for anybody who
Energy density.
for anybody
that
who
is.
cares. You can look up.
But it's a great
You
theory.
can look up neo-Tychonic model of the universe and how it is a
What is
dynamic and kinematic equivalent to the heliocentric model. So, and again, you really need to understand what a dynamic means. It means it does explain the forces, right? It's not just math. And if you want to just say it's just math, then we can say that invoking gravity or invoking the dark matter
what is it's
just math.
Yeah.
Dark
I mean,
matter
the math
is just math.
Math is a representation, man. Dark matter is a hypothesis to make sure that GR is still okay, general relativity.
It's basically a mathematical input to make the observations work.
Is math explanatory or descriptive?
I think it's I don't know, man. I go back and forth on that myself.
Easy question, dude. This is a very.
I mean, it's definitely descriptive.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I want to address
you can
this
describe
comment.
a system with math. Am I misinterpreting the word descriptive?
Descriptive as in like it explains what is the phenomena, what is causing.
Wouldn't that be explanatory?
Oh yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it would be descriptive.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if it's only descriptive, then why would we use it to settle what we believe in reality?
What's descriptive and is predictive. So you just go look at it with the data, man. We don't
Yeah,
believe
but it's
stuff that is
reverse
just
engineering.
math.
All it's back reverse engineered from what we observed. So of course the math.
I don't
Literally
think so.
making predictions and then assuming that you're right just based on the predictions is not science. Science is actually ascertaining the cause and effect relationship through a series of rigorous experiments with controls and variables, and that's something
that's fine.
I
So
totally agree.
It's not
with
math.
you.
Agreed. You can take data from planetary bodies.
Yeah.
You can apply it to orbital mechanics and predict where it's going to be. And
What data from the planetary bodies did you get, and how did you acquire it?
Yeah, you can get the position in the sky, so like a radio.
Sure.
You know, I'm not sure exactly how they do it. I mean, it's probably Blitz is probably a better person to talk about that. But
I would say they claim that they measure the light, and without having something to actually verify how correct you are, then it's again begging the question: reification fallacies.
Okay, so having a prediction as to what its orbital period and its exact inclination and everything is not verification enough.
No, especially when there are other models that can explain the observations as indicated by George Ellis.
Like, so okay, so I'm still waiting for an explanation simply of what a planet is on the flat Earth model.
We don't have a positive claim.
It's an orb.
It's a light in the sky.
It's an orb.
So we are light years ahead of you in terms of understanding what.
No, you've built a false model, and you believe that you're light years ahead of understanding when it doesn't even help you understand the physics. You guys don't have a working physical model, don't have a universal model, the micro, the macro at all. These are all huge crises, and you can't even get your gravitational model correct. You're about to shuck the entire theory of relativity.
You don't need a universal law of physics to join quantum to relativity in order to launch something into space. You don't need that. You don't need that in order to look at the orbital period of a planetary body around another and understand what's happening there.
So again, you're extrapolating an entire universal model based on the position changes of lights in the sky. And as indicated by famous astrophysicist George Ellis, there are a range of observations that can explain the a range of models that can explain the observations, and you cannot disprove them based on mathematics. You can only exclude them on philosophical grounds. And then he also adds that a lot of cosmology tries to hide that. Also fishy.
Shout out George F.R. Ellis. Shout out George.
For sure.
So okay, so you said that making claims based on lights in the sky, that sounds a little straw man-y, right?
Is it?
Kind of like, dude, define straw man.
So tell me how we're able to accurately place something into orbit.
What? That's a red herring.
Gosh, bro.
How's it? Just tell me how we do it.
Just
Prove that-
no, just
well,
address what I just said.
So hold on. I don't think he realizes how much goes into orbit. So you one have to prove radius. You two have to prove that gravity exists in the form of space-time bending, and 3, yeah, you'd have to prove like the entire heliocentric model to assume orbits exist.
I object to the you have to prove the space-time bending. You can just use Newton's law of
Is it based off
gravitation.
gravity? No,
You
no,
can
no.
just use Newton's law of
mechanics
gravitation to
is
put
fine.
rockets in space. You don't need to
No,
invoke general
Jorge.
relativity.
Yeah, no, Newton. Yeah,
Jorge.
Newton does
Newton
great.
is fine. So we can
Was
don't even
Newton-
worry
was
about
New-
space-time.
Yeah.
Was Newton's dynamics and mechanics superseded by Einstein's theory of relativity? Yes or no?
They were, but Newton is good enough, dude. You use
Then
what
you
you
can't
need to
use
use
Newton.
for the systems you're analyzing and designing. You do not use,
Oh
use
my God.
general
Yeah, so
relativity.
at
Caleb,
low
So
speed,
do they
Caleb.
use Newton at NASA?
Caleb, bruh, I work on these systems. You do not need to use general relativity, dude. You use Newton's law
Right.
of gravitation. It is sufficient. You have gravitational potential energy. You have kinetic energy. That's pretty much it. There's some
Okay.
orbital dynamics.
You're
stuff
just
for getting
debunking
the right
general
orbit.
Okay,
relativity,
that's-
in my opinion.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on. He's
debunking
also
general
begging the
relativity. It's just
question.
you don't need that kind of precision.
right?
Well,
Like
hold
if
on.
you want
He's
to do
also begging
timing
the
and
question.
clocks, then you do have to
Bro.
use like relativity. So
You're begging
sorry,
the
Caleb.
question that
Hey,
gravity
Caleb, I'm sorry. I
exists,
got a
so-
little heated. I'm gonna go on mute because, like I said, I've been hanging out and partying.
Okay, so the
If
one
that's you
question I
heated.
have for you, no, Steven, hold on, buddy. I've been trying to get in here. You know what I'm saying? So my one question for you: if you have to assume gravity is an accurate representation of why things fall, what is your proof of gravity that has been isolated from electrostatics? Yeah, I don't think you can handle that one, buddy. So probably for Jorge.
All right. So I mean, so you're.
Yeah. So,
I know what you're going for is you're going for. You're trying to gear the conversation towards that one experiment. What is it called?
Hey,
We want an answer of specificity.
I got it. I think I can get this answer, Steve. I got this, man.
Yeah,
So
go
the
for
Earth
it.
has a magnetic field. The
Oh my
electric field
gosh.
is really strong, right? So if we're talking about like objects in orbits and they're powered just solely by electrodynamics, you know, there's going to be effects that we could measure related to the magnetic fields. But this is not an electrodynamic system. This is a gravitational system. And the gravity, although it has some similarities mathematically to electricity magnetism, namely the way the forces fall off, 1 over r squared, there's only one gravitational charge. So there is a difference. And it's like 1 e to the negative 37 times weaker. And this is the big problem. And this is the big problem that we have, Caleb. Like, there's skepticism about what is meaningful science and knowledge. But gravity, there's a difference in scale. There's a misunderstanding of scales. It's a super weak force. You need a lot of mass. The Earth is big. It provides that big mass. So it's not an electrostatic thing. It's gravity because the Earth is big.
Reification fallacy.
It's a what?
That's a reification fallacy.
What's a reification fallacy?
So that's where you to basically help back up your claim. So you're saying that Earth has
It's a
you're saying hold
theory,
on. You're saying
dude.
gravity is a scale thing. It's a scale issue, and the Earth is really big, and that's where we experience the gravity. But we only experience gravity when we're talking like dealing with the Earth because it's what's
okay.
big enough to show the scale. Correct?
Listen, Brett. Yes. Look, I don't want to talk past each other here. I don't know what the hell you just said, but I'm telling you, there's a theory that involves gravity and involves masses, and when it is there, and there's a coupling constant essentially, 2 masses and a coupling constant. That coupling constant is really small, so one of those masses has to be big for those forces to amount to any significant acceleration on a scale of a human body, and so. I don't know what the hell reification means when you have a theory that just is a theory. It has a mathematical form, and you use it to make predictions. Then you go test them. What is reification about that? Like, just explain it to me like I'm 3 years old. I'm going to go on mute, and I'm going to let y'all explain it to me like I'm 3 years old. I've been partying and drinking and shit, and I don't have patience for this. I'm going on mute.
Right. So basically, what I'm saying is that there isn't actually evidence of the gravity of a separate force pulling things down like gravity. What we do see is the electrostatics, and you're saying that the reason why we don't see the gravity is because we're dealing with the problem of scale. It's only working when the Earth, which is big enough to give us enough mass to pull things down to show the gravity, right? So the fact that we can't actually measure the gravity independently and terrestrially would mean that simply saying, well, we're measuring the gravity.
They're terrestrials measurements.
Okay, fire away.
I can't do them because I require precision. Measure that small force with tiny little masses. I need something like the size of the moon.
They already have this. They already have this equipment. They measure it during rainstorms, lightning storms, and thunderstorms, and they follow
there you
different.
go. So you can get that. I can't build it, but maybe.
Well, George, let's
sort of stuff.
a hypothesis just to put it in something that you can understand, like very cool that we're trying to that we're trying to basically say is the electrostatics. A hypothesis to that would be that if it is electrostatics and not something that's like gravity, then during electrical anomalies like storms, lightning storms, then we would expect to see things fall at different rates. And that's actually what we experience in real life. So if it was true that it had nothing to do with electrostatics and it was its separate own standalone force, then the storm would have absolutely nothing to do with the way that things fall.
Hey man, I'm not going to tell you
just do me a favor
gravity
and
electrics or not, but
just describe to us
just
describe what electrostatic force is.
I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Well, just be specific. What is
Electric.
causing the electrostatic
Electric. Okay, that's electric, right? Electricity. Static. It's not moving. That's electrostatic force. Non-moving electricity.
So it has to do with charges that are not moving dynamically.
Right, so objects have static charges. It's what holds things together, right? That's the force that holds atoms together. This is not debatable. So
Okay,
we're saying
you're
that
talking
that's the
about-
force that's actually at a greater scale causing things to go down. But more specifically, it would be incoherent. Sorry, I'm messing up the words. Caleb, help me out here. Incoherent dielectric acceleration versus coherent dielectric acceleration.
What?
Would you say that an electrostatic force is the same as the strong nuclear or weak nuclear force?
Yeah,
Is it the same or is it different?
it's the same. The nuclear force is an electrostatic force. Literally.
Okay, so if it has to do with the charges of an object, right? So is that the claim that all objects have a charge and then that attracts towards the flat Earth downwards?
Including the wandering stars. Because Tesla said that, right? To unlock the secrets to the universe, think in the terms of sound, vibration, and frequency. I'm pretty sure that includes the sun and the moon and the wandering stars. Can
To answer
they
your
not
question,
generate electromagnetic force
Who is that talking?
or static force?
that would be the
Yeah.
rascally rabbit, and the short answer.
God, you're so soothing.
Short answer is
keep going.
yes. There would be a difference in overall charge, but mostly it's because there's an overall negative charge in the Earth, and this is actually verifiable and measurable.
Okay, so does something, in order for something to attract towards the Earth, does it have to have a particular charge?
Just has to have.
Let's just explain it to him, like give him the whole thing. So there's a relationship of buoyancy, density, and electrostatics in the air, as well as probably magnetism. So that's why you go up there less. So that's why they seek up. They seek equilibrium up through the less dense medium. That's why ping pong balls will float on the surface of water. They're less dense.
So
That's
it's
why rock will
electrostatics
float to the
until
bottom.
it's
They're
not.
more-
and
Hold
then
on,
what happens?
hold on, Steven.
Got it.
It's not nice to talk when somebody's explaining
I'm
something.
sorry.
Because you
You're
need
right.
to really listen and take notes right here, because you might not understand this, but I'm gonna
I
explain
can't
it
take notes
simply.
fast enough.
So buoyancy and density and a relationship with electrostatics. The atmosphere, due to Richard Feynman's lecture, I can send it to you. I have his book as well. The atmosphere is 100 volts per meter, equipotential increase to the positive side. As you go higher, you'll become more positively charged. The Earth's surface is negatively charged 500,000 coulombs. So the positive of the atmosphere is constantly seeking equilibrium with the Earth, creating the downward vector.
Simple.
Okay, so going back to my question, so does an object need to have a particular charge in order to be attracted towards the Earth?
Everything
To be
has positive
of
charge.
influence.
Everything has a positive
you
charge
rub a-
that leaves the surface of the Earth. Everything
you rub a
becomes positive
balloon-
So
charge.
if you
rub a
measure
balloon
something
with-
with a negative charge,
It will gain positive charge as it climbs in altitude.
So if I statically charge a helium balloon, will it rise faster or slower? Have you tried that?
We've actually demonstrated this with a Van de Graaff generator. Not only can we make it rise, but we can also make it sink as well, depending on if we charge it or decharge it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Force then what's this make it rise on its own when it's uncharged?
Because it's less dense than the medium that encompasses it.
so it's like what I said before you cut me off. It's electrostatics until it's not, and then it's something else.
It's a relationship. That's why I said it's a relationship of buoyancy, density, and electrostatics. They all have a relationship.
That is all
so
intrinsically. That all has
you
intrinsically to
rightfully-
do with electrostatics. Yes.
You rightfully judged the universal law of physics, trying to join quantum mechanics with gravity. Understandable. We're working towards that. So please explain to me how electrostatics is related to buoyancy.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on it, but I would if I had to guess.
No, he's not getting it. There's not a direct relationship. When I say that there's a relationship between them, they all have a part in explaining the phenomena. So I'm not saying that buoyancy equals electrostatics. I'm saying that all of them included creates the phenomena that is called gravity today.
Is it possible that you just don't understand what you're talking about and it's gravity?
It's definitely not possible that it's just magical mass attraction.
So even
hey, hold on. Let me just say one thing. I'll let you go. The object's motion depends on the sum of all the forces on it. So an object has all kinds of forces acting on it that causes its behavior. So it probably has a little bit of electrostatic charge. There are spiders that float in there using ballooning. Then that's electrostatic flight. They use their charge different than the ground. So the balloon probably has a little bit of electrostatic charge on it. It's got a gravitational force, and that's about it. That's what's causing it to move, and that gravitational force is causing that buoyancy. Buoyancy doesn't work without gravity. Like buoyancy is a real force.
No,
why? It's an effective force, and Caleb, you know about these because you've talked about Fisher's forces.
I can talk about buoyancy if you guys want me to describe it.
Yeah, talk about buoyancy, man.
Okay, so
I was just gonna say before you do, if you look at the equations for gravity and you look at the equation for electric attraction or magnetic attraction, you'll actually see that they're the same. So we're saying that the gravity force hasn't been verified. I'm not saying that there's not the downward acceleration. That's what actually plays into the buoyancy equation, not the whole gravity having to calculate the mass attracting mass thing. You just take the average.
Gravity, there's no buoyancy, man. You displace a certain amount of air.
No, it's actually not the gravity itself. It's just the downward acceleration average that goes in, right? The 9.7 meters.
I was going to ask them, what is the G in the equation? What is it? What does it mean?
What is the G in the
It's gravitational acceleration.
It's an average.
It's the 9.83 meters per second squared. Yep. Right? So we could replace the G with A, acceleration.
Well, first off, we're only talking about the approximation for small distances within the atmosphere. All right, so the actual definition of buoyancy, which is often overlooked because it's a little complicated, has to do with gravity. The gravitational force creates a pressure gradient throughout the atmosphere. Okay, greater pressures at lower altitudes than higher altitudes.
Stefan, before you continue, the cause of the phenomena is the pressure differential. We're saying the pressure differential has to be caused by gravity. We're saying the 100 meters, the 100 volts per meter upwards, that is creating the differential. Right, so you're just saying that it's a unmeasurable, unverifiable non-force that you can think of as a force, the bending of space-time, but you're actually using Newtonian because it's apparently easier. Or you could use the electrostatic kinematic equation, kinematic equivalent.
Right.
So Aristotle
In
brought
which
that up, right?
case,
Do you agree,
the
like in the
elements don't
atmosphere, we have
matter.
different density of fluids?
Right. So explain to me, if that is the case, does that mean
What happened?
charge as
Hold on, you paused. You're gonna have to repeat what you said.
Okay, so what you're implying though is that, let's say diatomic nitrogen has the same charge at all times as oxygen or argon or anything else, or CO2 in our atmosphere.
No, it fluctuates.
Okay, so then does that mean that there will be
But do
different
not those
layers of
things have a
elements?
different density, sir? So within our atmosphere, right? When we look at Aristotle's law of motions, in physics, he stated that objects fall at a speed proportional to their weight and inversely proportional to the density of the fluid they are immersed in. Now, I'm pretty sure you'll agree that as we rise, we get less humidity. We have something called the humidity gradient pressure. And as we get up higher, we have different gases. So therefore, those things are different densities, right? So I'm not sure why you need any charge for something to fall in different dense fluid, different density levels.
To understand it. Trying to understand how electrostatics influences the atmosphere and the pressure gradient. That's all.
Yeah, but you don't
It's
even
admitted that
actually need
electrostatics.
You just got to compare the density of the fluid. Just go research Aristotle's law of motion.
How does density relate to pressure?
Well, in an enclosed system, we'll have lighter gases at the top, and we'll have heavier gases.
Okay, but
humidity.
how? What
Is there a higher PSI at the surface of the
the
Earth?
reason why low density
for us?
gases rise up is because there's a pressure differential, right? And then it's occupying a greater volume, and that pressure differential pushes it upward, right? So what is causing that pressure differential? Because it's not density. Density is just a value. It's a mass per unit volume. That's it.
Is there more air pressure at the surface of the Earth?
Definitely.
So your argument is in circles. So you can't explain the reason for what you're trying to explain is the reason itself. For the pressure differential.
You're trying to overthink it because it's displaced medium, right? So when we're closer to the Earth, it has obviously more atmosphere and more weight above it, humidity pressure, what we'll call atmospheric pressure or barometric pressure. So the closer it is to the Earth, of course, there's more pressure above it. So that's why it falls.
Hey, SpaceX is doing a launch right now, host. Why don't you go live, host, and let's watch that SpaceX launch so you guys can see a rocket going to space.
That's boring.
It's going on right now.
Jorge, why can't you replace the little g in buoyancy with acceleration if it's just the acceleration rate towards the Earth measured?
Why can I do what? Little g. I want to try to answer.
Why can you not replace the little g in the buoyancy equation with acceleration when the admitted equation of that specific exponent is the acceleration rate measured with interferometry equipment of a lead ball going towards the surface of the Earth? If it's just a measured acceleration, why do we have to necessitate that it's little g and not acceleration?
Little g is just the gravity we feel at the surface of the Earth. If you
no, it's not.
If you let go of a lead ball in the space station, it doesn't drop, dude. There's
airification.
There's air.
You're lying.
If you let go of a water drop in the buoyancy,
station, it doesn't drop. This you should understand this, Jorge. In the buoyancy equation, it is the 9.83 meters per second squared, right?
Yeah. Close enough.
Okay. What happened to Steven?
I don't know. He probably dropped off, but we're actually about to end the live here anyway. We're 18 minutes past time, but I definitely appreciate everybody joining in and giving some good points.
Host, on your way out, can you just answer a question for me, brother?
I was going to let us all go around the panel, so.
Okay, go ahead.
Shoot, now I forgot what I was saying. Go ahead.
Okay, let me go first then. You or Caleb, do you believe that there's a foundational set of knowledge that we should carry out generationally that benefits all of us? And if you do, does that foundational knowledge include any of the physical sciences that we teach as foundational?
No, not if it's provably wrong.
Start over, like everything in physics is wrong. We just need to start over.
Yeah, probably.
All the stuff that built your phones and these iPads.
there might be some simple equations that make sense. Yes.
So like the science that
there's
went
some
into build,
value.
yeah, the science that went into building our cars, the stores we
No.
go to, the energy, our homes, all that stuff. We're not good with that. That stuff is provably wrong.
So
is
now
what
you're straw
telling
man.
me.
Now you're straw manning.
No, it's the same
When we're
physics.
talking
I'm
about,
just
well, hold on.
asking.
When we're talking about the actual physics and the which is really all physics is making the maths for the forces for why things are happening the way that they are happening, right?
Oh no, let's not figure out how things are happening.
No, let's not try to describe it with math,
That's ridiculous.
right? Which is fine.
Oh no, let's not create a representation that allows us to have
But what you're
predictive
saying-
power. Oh, that's ridiculous. Dude.
So what you're saying?
Holy crap.
Here's the problem, Jorge.
Sorry,
and
Caleb. I'm
calm
gonna
it
be
down
cooler
just a
next
little
time.
bit.
Okay,
Calm it
I'm
down just a
sorry.
little bit,
That's
Jorge.
I'm-
So here's the thing, right? I actually would say yes, we should start completely over, and here's why. You have a bunch of assumptions, even in science, that you assume to be true that haven't even been relooked at and checked. Like, for example, the acceleration of quote gravity, right? You assume that it's constant. All the constants that you guys have, you assume are constants, but they aren't rechecked and remeasured, and you've already biffed up on the speed of light apparently in the 1920s. So with that being said, yes, everything should be challenged all the time. We should always relook at things, remeasure, make sure that things are still working the way that we think that they are working, and formulate good hypotheses from there. All right.
I'm good with that.
So, and just we understand that. I don't know. I'm sure you're familiar with John Maynard Keynes. Basically, what he had done is he had old Newton's detailed notes and manuscripts, and during the 17th century, and basically he described Newton as being one of the last of the magicians. So I don't know, just give you something to think about.
I did just remember real quick the last point I wanted to make on the gravity thing, and that was if we know that gravity in the buoyancy equation, right? That's the equation that most people are referring to, and it's like, well, we use it when we're building things, right? We're building bridges, when we're doing buoyancy equations, we use gravity. Well, what you're using, admittedly, is the quote acceleration due to quote gravity. Now, we're not denying the acceleration. The acceleration is observable. However, what we are in contention with is the thing causing the acceleration. So if that is, and that should be obvious, and since that is obvious, why is it that people do bring up these equations that quote use gravity as a proof of the thing that is in contention? It's when it's clearly not.
And you can't bring a support for a contentious point, right? Using another theory.
And that, Jorge, is specifically why I brought it up. That is a reification in definition. Reification is what that is, saying that the gravity equation is used in buoyancy, therefore we know gravity is real, like the bending of space-time. Like, no, we don't know that that's real. Anyway, Caleb, do you have any final words?
Oh, as usual, another W for the flat topographical plane. Everything that we observe and read, that the Earth is flat and stationary. All of the relativity assumptions would have to assume that it's just as relevant a coordinate system, the geocentric Earth with a local universe translating motion down to the Earth. It would explain all phenomena. The Earth is flat. It's not a ball. It's anti-God. We shouldn't teach it to children. It's not proven. It's admittedly, again, through relativity. There's multiple other coordinate systems that could explain the phenomena. Again, shout out George F.R. Ellis. What a legend. An honest person. So, other than that, have a great night. Thank you for hosting Tribune. Everyone, subscribe to Tribune on YouTube and Rockfin.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you
well
so much,
said. I
Caleb.
like the alternate explanation part, Caleb. I agree with that. We can always look for an alternate explanation.
Yep, that's what science is.
Just hey, as long as it matches the data, I got no problem with it, dude. Seriously, honestly, just has to match the data.
Awesome. All right. I believe that's everything. Rascally, did you have any other final words that you wanted to shout out?
No, awesome. I just sat back most of the quiet. I only piped in when I could add something of value to the conversation. Tribune, thanks for having me on. Horaz, good talking to you again as usual.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I saw I got a little heated there. I'm usually really cool. It's just been a long night. I'll catch you next time, brother. Sorry about all that.
You're fine, Jorge. You're actually a lot more cordial than a lot of people that I have in here. So I do appreciate you coming on, sharing some of your physics expertise. And we don't mind if things get a little spicy sometimes. It helps keep things entertaining for the audience.
Not nearly so spicy, brother. And I can to talk physics with you anytime you want. I'm a nerd, and I love it. So anytime.
Absolutely, man. I definitely will my main show sometime. But we're going to go ahead and take care, Jorge. We're going to go ahead and call it a show, folks. YouTube, Rockfin, don't go anywhere. You know I always play you out with some nice music, say some final words. We appreciate all the love and support. We're here to have the open dialogue, the conversation, and hash out these points. That way we can come to the most truthful conclusion, right, regardless of what that is, right? So if that means that we are on a flying space pair in the infinite void of a godless or a distant God universe, then I guess that's what it means. But so far from the evidence that I've brought forward today, with the radar propagation, with the line of sight photography, with the globe actually bringing nothing really of substance to this debate today, I'd say that this was definitely a W for True Earth. But that's my opinion, right? You guys can take it or leave it. I do appreciate everybody. We do sometimes do some cool giveaways and things. So if you want to support the show, then head on over to troublingtribune.com to learn more. We're going to be doing these lives almost every day. So do follow, stay tuned. Follow my backup, MrTribune. He's the same logo, but blue. So that'll help me out as well in case anything ever happens to this live as well. And all right. With that being said, I will catch you guys next time. Again, YouTube Rock. Alrighty, folks. Let's go ahead and get you back pulled up where we need to be. Fun live. Lost the thing. Oh, well. Alrighty. Man, some of that was absolutely brutal. But, hey. We ended up having some decent conversations there at the end. We had an actual physicist on, although he did have a little bit to drink, but that is okay. Doesn't invalidate the arguments at all. So let's go ahead and do a massive shout out to those of you who have stuck with us through the show. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Don't need you. We'll start over on YouTube. We, of course, have Salted Cedar, FE Nation. Later, everyone. Later, my friend. Nominal, Big Pine Sailing, Jeremy Bird, much love. Think for yourself, Flat Plain, Oregon. Nominal, Big Pine Sailing. Oop, already said that one. Flat Sabbath. Still can't get over how awesome that name is. All right. And then we got Flat Plain, Oregon, Anson Howard. Starting to get a lot of repeats. All right, many, many more. We really appreciate it, guys. This has been absolutely awesome. Let's shout out the legends over on Rockfin, Nuba, Awesome Town Matt. What is up? Round and sphere are two different things. Please stop saying the earth is not round. Say it's not a sphere, please. That's kind of grasping at straws, but okay. First guy arguing for the globe has the same level of intelligence as a cop. That's funny. Gravity, for lack of a better word. Awesome. Jaybird. Fishhead, Montana, Willie Nene, cool story, bro. Absolutely. Bearsworth, Big Pine, Shifty Eyes, RG, what is up, TT? Awesome. Yeah, we're keeping it real for sure, my friend. Shane, Mischief Brew, and Robotic Double. Awesome, man. And of course, let's not forget Ryan Paravecchio. We appreciate you guys. You guys are legends, helping support the show. Keeping the lights on for old troubling as we dedicate hours and hours to the pursuit of truth and good debate. So we are on the hunt for new guests for the show. We're trying to find people with more credentials so we can have better conversations. And yeah, we're also going to be introducing here very, very soon the Tribune Travels series where we go on little vacations and show you guys some cool stuff. A trip to NASA is going to be coming very soon. So speaking of which, be sure to support auditnasa.com. That way, you too can find out what your tax dollars are being spent on. Remember that time that NASA got pulled in front of Congress and they got basically just berated for misusing a whole bunch of money? Imagine how much money we'd have for meaningful things if that wasn't happening. Anyway, auditnasa.com. Perfect. Appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and get, I can't believe I didn't do this already. Let's get your song queued up so we can play out. It has been really fun. If you guys didn't catch it already, be sure to check out my conversation with Iron Realm Media that we had earlier today. And yeah, with that, I'll bid you adieu. Until next time, we're going to be going Sunday morning for the Melodome Morning Light. Going to be really awesome. So be sure to check that out. I can't believe I still can't find this thing. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. Really biffing it as we typically do. Nope, that's not it. But this is, guys, much love. Peace.